O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. Coming to you live from Kingswear. And boy, they're getting ready because they're going to get the messy storm coming their way.
Did you talk to Jeff? They're already working on it.
Yeah. I gave them a heads up that it was coming a while ago. I gave a lot of you the heads up that I just had a feeling this thing's going to happen. And I know it isn't finalized yet. Michelle Kaufman says that it hasn't been finalized yet, and she's been on top of this story, from the get-go. So give Michelle credit on that. I know that The Athletic came out with that story, but they're way behind the Herald and Michelle Kaufman, who was ahead of everybody on this story, dude. She just had it nailed, and personally for me, I thought for sure it was going to happen. I just felt like everything was in place with the numbers, number 5, number 10 being set aside, not selling the tickets in the second half. That means they felt really good about it, and they were, preparing themselves. And they even traded away depth and all that kind of stuff. And, I still worry about him coming here because, I feel the guy's going to need some help. And I don't know if he has enough help yet on this team. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of those deals that it'll suck to get Messi and not be a good team. So let's hope that to see if they improve the team. Now Busquets will come, which will then help them also. And I don't know when they're going to get Gregory back, but it'll be towards the end of the season because it wasn't like a 5-6 month thing. Yeah. I almost think like Gregory, if anything, you'll see him like in September, right before the playoffs, and you hope to get him in there, if you can get to the playoffs too. That's the other thing. I don't even know. But hey, listen, the beauty is you're going to get Messi here. Okay? And boy, that's going to be a lot of fun because we've had superstars in town, but we've never had a superstar like this in town. Nothing like this in town. Nothing close to this. LeBron and Shaq are big. This guy is bigger than both of them combined, and they don't even get to him yet. Yes?
Question for you, because I don't know soccer. The decision being made now, I know there's a transfer window that's more European soccer, right?
I think what you're asking is we own him. If this the decision, then we can.
I'm
loan
going
him
conspiracy
to
here. I'm going conspiracy here.
Oh,
Phil Neville gets fired.
yes.
Now Messi's coming.
Messi didn't want Phil Neville. You're saying Messi wanted another coach.
Yeah, now they have the interim coach. Messi can basically handpick his coach because I don't know many coaches that are probably going to turn down a job to manage a team with Messi on it, right?
Yeah. No. That's a very good point. That's like first class Oliver Stone stuff that like works. That you fire Neville because you knew the Messi decision was coming, and Messi maybe in the negotiations. Do I have to play for that guy? Oh no, Lionel. No. Who do you want to play for, sir? I like that.
They slept at a Holiday Inn last night.
I like that a lot because I don't think he deserved to get fired. And if you look at everything going on, most of the stuff that's going on is above and their fault and luck. Injuries have nothing to do with Phil Neville. That Campana can't stay healthy, that's not up to Phil Neville. That Gregory got injured, that's not Phil Neville's fault.
You know what I mean? And then Campana comes back, but he's not really the guy that you thought he could be. You know what I mean? So that's not Neville's fault either. And he has no number 10. That's not Neville's fault either. So, in a way, you fired a guy for no reason. And by the way, he left this beautiful letter to the fans and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and I almost feel like maybe there's some of that. And that's it. So I like that move on your part. I can see them dealing with the interim coach for the rest of the year, unless somebody that is from a certain league that he likes is already also off in the summer and their contract is up, and then they can leave that team to then come here. But I like that. I think that makes more sense why they fired Phil Neville than firing Phil Neville. That makes a lot of sense. We'll run it by Franco Panizo at the bottom of the hour. Okay. That's what we'll do. We have Franco Panizo joining us at 2:30. We've got Omar Kelly stopping by at 3, and we've got Ira Winderman joining us at 3:30. Okay? Yeah, to a time. I'll ask Ira if he's injured. That's the easy part. I want Ira to ask Jimmy if he's injured. That's what I want Ira and others to ask. It's not if he's injured. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, it's obvious he's injured. That, it's
But also, it's one of those things where you're not going to know. I mean, yeah, maybe you could see Jimmy walk. It's not like Jimmy's walking around in, a cast or a boot on his ankle.
Yeah.
When he walks out, he looks like Jimmy, because he knows cameras are on him.
Right.
So.
Or when he plays, he's not playing like Jimmy.
100%.
That's all you got to see.
You're never going to find out from the Heat or Jimmy Butler that he's hurt. So,
no.
I mean, Ira would probably, I guess.
No, he's just going to say like what they did before. There was something about an injury or something, and then he said it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
I
think leading into this series.
Yeah, like he didn't. Right, it was leading into the series, and he kind of
nobody cares anymore.
Nobody cares. None of that matters, anyways. He kind of used another way because that's what he's always done. He does the same shit that Eric Spoelstra does. Eric Spoelstra's playing with like 2 guys on the court. There's nobody on the bench. He loses by 76 points, right? And then on the postgame show, he tells you, no, we have enough. It's just, hey, we didn't play well today. But, Coach, you only have 2 players. They have 12. They have a starting 5 and 7 more sitting on the bench. You have 2 players starting. You're missing 3 from your starting group, and you have no bench. We have enough. We just didn't play well. And that's kind of the thing that Jimmy's done too. He's not going to admit it. There's no way he admits it. But Denver knows it. Some of us know it. I know it. Apparently, Tua Time may not know it. Okay. Oh, crap. Big O still rocking the Macho Man Randy Savage sunglasses. These are not Randy Savage. I know you're having fun and joking around. Okay. But they're not. Do you know what these are? You know what these glasses? Autism. Very good. These are autism glasses. I got them for making a donation. And then when I put them on, I was like, holy shit, these lenses are actually really good. They're UV protected, but they do that crap where they brighten everything up. Like watch. Look at them. You see what I'm saying? Like it's super cool. Huh? Yeah, man. So they actually work really well, and I do love the design, by the way. So yes, they are autism glasses. These signs are for autism. Although I think they have modernized it and have made a new logo for autism, but this is one of them.
It's still got the colors and the that's how I could tell when I looked at them.
Yeah. So that's what it was, my brother. So no Randy Macho Man Savage, just making a donation to a great cause, and hoping that we can find a way to help people with autism. That's all. Polarized, yes, exactly. Polarized, yes, that's it. They're polarized. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate you. Herman Cuevo says, "Hey, awesome! You went to Dolphins camp." Yeah, been doing it for 30 years, bro. Oh, he's responding from the YouTube. Oh, because I was at Dolphins camp when I did it. Yeah, I believe. I guess, yes, because of the competition. Which, by the way, Skyler had the best pass of the day again today. Down the middle of the field, this kind of a skinny post. I was sitting there. I think I was sitting with Joe Rose and Travis Wingfield when we were talking and stuff. You know, Joe is so full of shit, by the way. I just want to say that, okay? And I mean this all in a very endearing way. Because I've heard him the last 2 mornings driving, he kills himself about his weight. He's not fat at all.
Doesn't he play like tennis or something? Because I know Hollywood's always messing with him about tennis.
Yeah.
All that
No,
stuff,
but he's dude, he looks good, bro. Like I told him today, I go, bro, you're not fat. I'm fat. You're not fat, bro. You look good. He's like, oh man, I still need to lose some weight. I go, whatever, bro. You want to lose a couple pounds, that's fine. But he tells you, and I don't know, is his show on YouTube? Do they do his show on YouTube?
They are doing, I believe, all the shows now on YouTube from the studio.
Maybe you can't tell because he's sitting. That's probably why.
Yeah, I think it's just the face.
He looks good, dude. Yeah, he was killing himself because he wasn't in camp yesterday. So today I saw him and I looked at him. I go, bro, like, you're not fat, bro. Look at me. I'm fat. It's like, you're not fat, man. He's so full of shit. I mean, yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're no fat, bro. Come on. It's hilarious, dude. How he kills himself and he looks good, man. He looks good. Anyway, Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love on the super chat. I saw that the Iron Sheik passed away, dude. Yeah, brother. Did you see the farewell letter from the Sheik?
No, I haven't been able to go through everything.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay, it's there. It's
okay,
on his Twitter page. I was reading it right now in the car.
I have to go look at it.
Yeah, AEW Wednesday, and first of all, rest in peace, Iron Sheik. AEW Wednesday, Chris Statlander. That's it, Statlander. He's the champ versus Anna Jay, Eye Candy. Really? She's hot? Anna Jay's hot? Okay. Who we got, Big O? Also, go Inter, go Heat, go Panthers, go Marlins. Marlins are really trashing the crap out of the crappy teams and taking advantage.
Arez. How about that? 401.
Got over to 401.
I know you probably got it.
Yeah, I got it here. 401. Went 2 of 4 yesterday, scored 2 runs and an RBI and got back over 401. He was at 399 yesterday. So he's back over 401. This late in... Yeah. Slump dropped him to like 350. It's like, it's awesome. It's awesome. Well, Chris... Okay, Statler is the champ, right? But you say Anna Jay is eye candy. Well, hey, man, I'm all about eye candy. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I'm fat. I love candy. So now you're showing me eye candy. You know what I'm saying? I just had a La Spada here for lunch. I finally had some lunch because my breakfast was just blueberries today. I just had some blueberries to start off the day. I actually have lost a couple pounds, which is pretty amazing. First week of no Coke whatsoever and trying to, eat a little better, Unlike Joe, I am really fat. And so I really got to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go with a hottie. I'm going to go with Anna Jay. I figure if, I want to watch somebody become the champ and stay on top and entertain me, hey, it also helps that they're better looking too at the same time. So I'm going to go with Anna Jay. And for those of you all out there, we've got 420, a little over 2 hours away. You can roll a J. So let's go with Anna Jay. Do I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down since no? Thumbs down? You got the champ staying the champ?
Well, the champ just won the belt.
Oh,
So
see,
this is almost like her first title defense. So.
Oh wow! See, you know, Frankie didn't give me that nugget.
Yeah, but I don't know if that would have changed your view anyway. So the way
That's
you do
true.
it, but also
That's true.
you never know. The way I believe Chris Statlander does not lose, but you've been right more than you've been wrong. Although you have been on a little bit of a slump.
I am on a Luis Arraez slump right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm back down to batting like 350. So yeah. So we'll try. Justin says he loved the YouTube short today. Thank you. We're going to do more of those, by the way. There's rumors saying that Messi is actually trying to push his old coach at Barcelona to Inter so they can be reunited. I think he nailed it, bro. I think that dude nailed it. Seriously, I think that dude nailed it right there. That makes there was really no reason to fire Neville. No. In fact, you're actually while he was struggling on one end, he was excelling on the other with the US Open Cup. So you were still fighting for something pretty cool this season. You know, I don't care what anybody tells me, winning the US Open Cup would be a hell of an honor for Inter Miami. If you were a team that had, you're constantly winning MLS Cups, or you're in the MLS Cup or in the race year in and year out, then maybe you can poo-poo the US Open Cup a little bit. But when you haven't accomplished shit as an organization, you're only 4 years old, the US Open Cup is a terrific building block. So, yes, sir.
No, and like you've said before, with all the injuries and everything, and I get it, some of the players may have not whatever, all the supporters groups were calling. It was almost like easy, low-hanging fruit, but then also like, well, this is what he wants, so let's just do it now.
Right.
Because you could have waited till
right.
I mean, see, it's not going to get any better if you got an interim coach there, unless you're replacing him with a new manager, I think, to take over the club. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but that manager is not coming till Messi. That's for sure. You can tell that that to me, that makes a ton of sense what you said. Big O, we see you all the time sitting behind the table. Are you in pants or shorts, man? Underwears. I am in underwears right now. Even here at Caneswear on the street, that's it. I'm sitting down. I am in underwears right now. Yeah, it's hot, bro. I got to air out. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's interesting.
That's it. To steal a line from Pump Up the Volume, I'm just sitting here in underwears with a cock ring. All right, let's see. Keep it real, Big O. How bad is Mike White looking? Haven't heard anything good. I'm not impressed. That's all I can tell you, Brett. I haven't seen enough. I got to watch training camp. I got to watch more. We will see the preseason, my brother. But Brett, Skyler's looking good. That's all I can tell you. Skyler made a couple of passes today. He made one to the sideline that was really, really nice. And then that skinny post I told you that he threw, that was just excellent, man. He had the best throw today, and he had the best throw yesterday. And Tua looked good too, by the way. Tua was super sharp and all that stuff. Mike White threw an interception today. I know that. So far, Brett, I'm just not impressed yet. But doesn't mean anything. Maybe he's just kind of like that during practice, and then games come around and he plays a lot better. His stats don't necessarily say that, but we'll see. South Florida sports on fire. I agree, dude. 67. Oh, I had the same problem with Coke. Tried ice beverages. They have no sugar and give you the feeling of drinking Coke. Takes the edge away. Yeah. I'm drinking a lot of juices, and some of them have some sugar, but it's the caffeine, it's the sodium, all that kind of stuff, and it's just brutal. But already today's the week, because I quit last Wednesday, so today I complete a whole week of being. I've done this before, Coke has got me not this the drink, not the other one. Okay. Because everybody, when you shorten it like that, everybody, huh? What? What's he talking about? But Coca-Cola has buried my life as it is, even though I love the damn drink. But it is brutal for you. So, who do you think is the second string QB? Too early. Way too early for it. But Skyler right now for me is the second stringer. Okay? Ray says, shout out to you, Big O. You were the only one in South Florida who was actually calling Messi to Inter Miami while everyone else thought he was going to the Saudis or Barca or Barca. Yeah, I was convinced he was coming here. I just was. And by the way, unlike the porpoise, okay, I'm not telling you from, oh my God, that I know for sure. Like, okay, all right. With the porpoise, it's a whole different ballgame. I don't guess a lot of times. Okay? So that's different. But this one was pure hunch, pure gut. And I got a big gut. Okay? Joe Rose doesn't have a big gut, but I got a big gut. He can tell you he has a big gut, but he doesn't have a big gut. Oh, man. Anyway, if Messi comes, what are the chances the Dolphins would allow some games at the Hard Rock? I have no idea. It depends on the money breakdown, I would imagine, because everything comes to money. How much more money can the Moss brothers make there? Something like that. But it would make sense. It would make sense to move it to Hard Rock. You know what I mean? Now, the problem is Canes play on Saturday, too. So you cannot just, you know what I mean? It's not that simple.
Not only that, too, but then if you had Canes, Inter Miami,
and Dolphins
in
that
one
field
weekend,
won't
that
survive.
Field will be.
Yeah, no, you can't even have it on one weekend.
Especially if it rains. I mean, add a little rain into that.
No, but you can't have it on one weekend.
Yeah.
Can't, because they're both on Saturday. So
no,
you can't.
but if they did a 1 o'clock, well, I guess you could.
No, you can't. You can't.
Right?
You can't. You
8 o'clock.
You can't have a game, 2 games on one grass field. You can't.
That's true.
You cannot. You know what I mean? So the only way they could do that is, here's an idea for you. They create a second field that is artificial, and they're able to slide it in and slide it out of the stadium like they do in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? So then the football team plays on grass and the football team plays on the artificial turf. And then that way you're able to take care of the grass. But that's the only way. And the way that stadium is designed and everything, there's nowhere to stash the extra field like they do in Houston. There's nowhere to do it because both ends are already taken up with all kinds of stuff going on. So I don't think it'll be able to happen, unless you build it underneath, and then you could do the switching of the fields underneath, which would take, how much space you would need down there to be able to do that? That would be crazy.
There's nothing where they could do like they do the basketball courts, is there? Where they kind of wheel them out and they come together?
Nah, not with grass, not with artificial turf, because then you'll create divots, where they meet, and people can get injured and all that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's what happened to Ed Perry. The clay to grass, right there. He stepped right in the middle of that and blew out his knee in the middle of a game. I've told that story 100 times. You were right about Brian Flores getting fired. You were right about Tua being an MVP caliber quarterback. You were right about Xavier Howard being injured all year. More people should really listen. Well, I still have people that don't think that Jimmy Butler's injured. Hey, by the way, they still think that the Dalvin Cook trade's going to happen. And I keep telling them that there was going to be no Dalvin Cook trade. But, keep waiting for that Dalvin Cook trade. Pepsi is better, Big O. FYI, I am not having any Pepsi. Pepsi is disgusting. How does this compare to LeBron? This is one of the biggest international walking legends. Bro, this crushes LeBron and Shaq together. Okay? Together. This guy is bigger than 10 superstars in this country combined. This is a guy that has 11 million followers on Instagram. It's just stupid. It's ridiculous. Nobody has more followers on Instagram than Lionel Messi. It's ridiculous how enormous this is. This is the biggest free agent to ever come to South Florida. Ever. Doesn't matter if you don't like soccer and you're only a football person and you're sitting in your car, office, or home, or by the beach listening to us or watching, and thank you, by the way, and you're saying, oh, it don't matter. Soccer don't matter to me. So it was bigger that we signed David Long to me than Lionel Messi. And I get it. But in the big picture, in the general picture, this is going to put Miami on the international map. Okay? Everyone around the world that loves soccer, people all over, millions will be watching what Inter does only because of that guy. They're going to want to watch Messi and see what he does next because that's what it is. Thank you, Big O, for the recommendation of the history of the AFL. Started watching it, and I never knew about it, about the 65 All-Star game in New Orleans. Yes, that they backed out of it. Yes, exactly. And how the players teamed up to move the game to Houston. Yes, sir, because of the racism. Yes, sir. Yep. You'll learn so much about football, about the AFL, about the NFL, about the ins and outs of what went on. It is one of the most marvelous football documentaries ever made, dude. Have you watched it? You should. You should. I'm telling you, man. It is just must-see TV. Especially if you're a football nut like I am, you'll watch it over and over and over again. That's how good it is. It's one of those. Orlando, what would you give up for 33-year-old Dane Lillard? I'll give you Tyler Hero. I'll give you Duncan Robinson and 2 first-round picks. Let's go. Let's rock. And then I'll wait till the trade deadline to move Kyle Lowry for another star. Bam! Yeah, Bam's a star. Big O, how did Tua look today? I'd ask Omar or Poopar, but unless Tua's throwing darts, I think, across his body in a hurricane force winds off his back, it's just okay. No, he looked solid today. He did great. He was rock solid, man. Love what I saw from Tua. Now, I don't go too crazy about OTAs and these mini camps because the hitting is not, real. But at least when it comes to corners and receivers and quarterbacks and the passing game, you could get at least a better feel for that. That's why I'm telling you, right now I'm going Skyler over what's his name now? What's the QB? Mike White. Yes. I'm going Skyler over White right now. But again, way early. I could be completely wrong here. Let's wait till more stuff is played. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's just way too soon to even make that determination. But at the moment, I do like it. 468 million followers. I'm sorry. There you go. It's just a stupid number. He's just a monster. Maybe the 11 or 12 million, is that Twitter? Is that what that is? Big O, it's not bigger than LeBron or Shaq until he wins the championship. No. It's bigger already, my brother. No, it has nothing to do with championships. The world, listen to me, my brother. The world is watching this move. Not the United States, not Cleveland watching LeBron go to Miami, because the people in, I don't know, Pittsburgh, do they give a shit about LeBron going to Miami? Probably not. Everyone in the world is watching this sports move to the Arab nations, to Barcelona, to Miami, wherever that guy goes. It's worldwide news. It's earth-shattering news. It's the biggest sports news in the world. You're used to talking about the biggest sports headlines in this country. It's kind of like the Gary Gensler goes after Coinbase and goes after Binance and all that, and then crypto drops, right? And Bitcoin drops to like 25 something, and then it jumped right back up to 27,000 again last night, right? And right now it's hovering somewhere just under 27,000 if I remember correctly, right? Yeah, 26.5 now. So you look at it, and there's a lot of FUD. And then there's a lot of people thinking, oh, well, Gary going after it's really going to hurt crypto and going to bring it down. And the problem is there's a myopic point of view here. You think the United States is the one that's determining what's going to happen to Bitcoin? No, the world will depend. Is determining what will happen with crypto and Bitcoin, not the U.S. We're only 330 million people out of 8 billion. So the world will control it, and the world is accumulating it and taking it in, and they're adding it to their markets and all that, and we're asinine and we're way behind. The messy thing is the same thing to extreme. That's where you're wrong, buddy. Shaquille O'Neal or whoever, bro, Luka or whoever you want to get traded, a big star here, that's news here. That might touch in some parts of the world a little bit here, there, whatever. It's nothing. We're only one country with 330 million people. Just because you're interested in a star going from one place to another doesn't mean the rest of the world is. The messy move, brother, is cared about in Africa, in the Arab nations, down in Central and South America, in the North Americas, everywhere. Everybody will be talking about it. If he goes to Barcelona, if he plays in the Arab countries, if he plays here in Inter Miami, it's the biggest news. It dwarfs anything. I don't care if it's Kobe or Michael or Wayne Gretzky, or I don't give a shit who it is. Those headlines are minuscule compared to Lionel Messi. It's not even close, dude. Now let's continue. Franco Panizo. Yeah, baby, Miami Total Football covers Inter Miami. Knows that team inside and out. Let's get to the Messi story with Mr. Franco Panizo next.
Your home for everything Heat.
They stand eye to eye with history, and they did not blink. The Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
Panthers.
The Florida Panthers are headed to the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Big O Radio Show goes deep on playoff coverage.
We don't care what the rest of the world is saying. We don't care who's criticizing who. You got to line up between these four lines, and let's figure this out.
The Big O Radio Show.
You're back, and hold on. Wait a minute. Let us get some boom in it. There we go. How you doing, Franco? You doing all right?
Busy, brother. Busy, as you can imagine. This phone is hot right now. It's ringing all over the place.
Yep. I know Michelle reported that it's not a done deal yet. What are you hearing? Is it more about just details getting finished out more than anything else? Or is it still somewhat in doubt that he still could go to Barcelona?
It's all but a done deal. It's just a matter of the timing of when Messi and his camp decide they want to announce it. That's all it comes down to. I mean, if you want to say it's not done because officially it hasn't been announced by Messi or Inter Miami, then yes, it's not officially done right now, this moment in time, but it's inevitable. It's happening. What a coup for MLS, what a coup for Inter Miami, what a coup for the Moss brothers. Inter Miami fans should be through the roof, and I know that they are, but this can't go understated. I just heard part of your last segment there, and the just the impact that this will have, not only for us here in South Florida, but just across the world. This is massive news. It's the news of the day across the world in terms of any piece of news, almost any piece of news in any country. This will be the biggest talking point today, with Messi's next decision coming to MLS and coming to Inter Miami.
All right, you and I, and again, some of the supporter groups will have a disagreement on this decision and move that they made. But I got to go with my producer here, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley, of course. I think he solved the riddle. All right. You can say Neville deserved to be fired. I can say, no, he didn't, because there's a whole shitload of things that were out of his control that were going on with the team. But Sean, I think, nailed it. I think they fired his ass because they knew Messi was coming and Messi wasn't going to play for him. And Messi wanted his own coach. And I think they already kind of knew when they were firing the coach. They knew they were getting close. And some little birdie told them, hey, Lionel would probably like to have a different kind of coach there. And they probably said, hey, let's use this opportunity right now so we can ride our interim for the rest of the year, and then we'll eventually figure out who the coach will be for Lionel Messi. I kind of like that more than the discussion that we have going back and forth on whether he deserved to get fired or not, when really this team is kind of shitty. What do you think about that?
I mean, I would say there's definitely probably some planning that's happened behind the scenes. Inter Miami probably knew. I mean, listen, when Phil Neville signed his 1-year extension, Inter Miami, in the press release and the official communication, never said it was a 1-year extension. This was just what, was reported in media by different outlets, which fair. But Inter Miami never came out and said it was a 1-year deal. So maybe there was some planning behind the scenes in terms of lining somebody else up. I would still disagree with the overall sentiment, though, that he was fired at that moment so that the new coach could come in for Messi. Like, if Inter Miami was top of the table, would they fire Phil Neville?
No.
Probably not, unless he would resign.
You can't. That would be bad PR at that point. But
unless he resigns for personal reasons or something like that, they can come up with something like that. But I don't think that's it. I think, look, last Wednesday at the stadium, Inter Miami lost another home game. The fans brought out the Neville out banners. You could see in videos that were taken, not even by the broadcast, I have a Miami Total Football radio listener who's an avid Twitter user, covers up his profile. It's a picture of a cartoon, but he was at the stadium and he took a clip of Campana on the bench after the bad game he had. And you can see on the side there that there's Jorge Mas and Jose Mas looking pretty frustrated, looking despondent. I mean, Inter Miami hit rock bottom last week.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Campana has nobody to blame but his ass.
Sure, absolutely.
He's the one made of glass. He's the one that can't last. And then he's the guy that could have won that game all by his lonesome.
I don't agree with that.
He had 3 opportunities. 2 of them were excellent. The PK, and then the one immediately that he had in the box that he could have one-timed it, but he held on to it and allowed the defense to close in on his ass. So Campana by himself, he should have been frustrated, but only frustrated at himself because he's the one that's underachieving, not
sure. But the point of that was to say that the video catches Jorge and Jose Mas looking pretty despondent and dejected, and I think with the fans booing and then the Neville out.
Hold on, we got news. Tata Martino has reached an agreement in principle to coach Inter Miami. Your thoughts?
I mean, it's not a huge surprise. I mean, listen, Phil Neville was fine. We're talking about last Wednesday in that horrible game, the booing for Phil, the booing for Harvey, his son, when he was subbed in, and then the next day they fire Phil Neville. And one of the questions in that press conference from a colleague was directly about Tata Martino. So it was like, the stars kind of aligned for this to be the obvious lead candidate. Now, Inter Miami sporting director Chris Henderson was pretty tight-lipped and didn't really give up a whole lot, which I think was telling in that press conference last Thursday. He didn't want to give out the profile of the next coach that they were going to potentially look at or what they were looking for in the coach. He didn't say almost anything with regards to that. So, that led you to believe that Tata Martino, who recently expressed in an interview with The Athletic that he loves MLS, he wants to come back to coaching in MLS. He's a free agent. He doesn't have a team right now since his departure from Mexico's national team. So it always kind of made sense. He has ties to Messi. He's got ties to Pizarro. He's got ties to Joseph Martinez. He's coached all 3 of them before, and he's a big name.
Nice. I did not know that. That's what I was going to ask you. What's the history here? He coached all 3 of those guys? Wow. Okay.
Yep. He's coached Joseph Martinez in Atlanta when they won an MLS Cup. He coached Pizarro at different moments with the Mexican national team during Tata's last stint over there. So, he's got ties to a few different players and maybe can get the best out of them. But I think his name the recognition, his experience in the league, I think it makes him a very obvious choice. And you know what? Probably as close to for using another sports term, a home run or a slam dunk as you can probably get for Inter Miami at this point in time today with the coaches that are available right now. It's probably as good as you're going to get. MLS experience, big name, tactician. You've got, you checks off a lot of boxes.
So what does this deal encompass? What are we talking about?
Which one? Messi's deal? Tata's deal? Which one?
No, forget Tata. I don't care about it. I just wanted the background on Tata. I'm talking about Messi, the juicy stuff. Give it to me. What's the breakdown here? What are we hearing?
So there's a lot of stuff floating out there. I mean, look, the most reliable stuff and the stuff that made sense. I've said this on Miami Total Football Radio, not as information, but just as supposition for years now, because it just made sense. Messi's longtime corporate sponsor is Adidas. Adidas is MLS's main corporate sponsor. They produce all the jerseys, the balls, everything. So it made sense that Adidas would always be a part of the equation, and they are part of the equation. Apple is also a part of the equation here, and Messi's going to get a cut of X amount of income that Apple will make from this deal, as well as from Adidas. So, I mean, it was never just going to be Jorge Massa and Jose Massa paying Leo Messi X amount, and that's what's going to seduce him to come to South Florida. I mean, South Florida has all of its beautiful things and the weather, and
they don't get him that way at all.
So, I mean, it was good. It was going to always be a little bit more than that. It was always going to be a little bit more than just the contract offer. And it had to be a sweetheart deal, something too good to turn down. There's expected that he's going to get a percentage of ownership in some team in the future, which is similar to David Beckham, who, when he came over from Europe to the LA Galaxy. So it all makes sense. It all makes sense. It was going to always be more than just about, here's an X amount of money. It's about all encompassing. It's about growing his brand, corporate sponsorship.
Oh, we lost him there. All right, we'll put him back. George says Tata Martino also coached Messi for a season at Barcelona, and both are supporters and strong ties to Newell's Old Boys, which is in Argentina. Okay. I always tripped out with that name. You're an Argentine soccer team called Newell's Old Boys. Is that like the funniest thing in the world? It's like, brother, wouldn't it be in Spanish or something? Newell's Old Boys. I always tripped out with that. I had a buddy of mine who was Argentine and obviously monster soccer guy. And I always used to trip out with him on that. This was years ago when I first got in the business. 30 years ago, man. He's no longer with us, too, man. Sucks. I guess so. Panizo's having trouble there? Okay. Yeah. You need to understand Argentina's British roots. I got you now. Okay. I got you. But it still doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? I think it was kind of in honor of something like that, right? Is that what the story is or something? You might be right. I'm memories coming back like on something. He's there? We got him? All right. All right.
Not
So
sure
what
what
were you saying? Yeah.
I don't know. Where did I leave off at?
I don't know, bro. Messi's agent's messing with our signal here. He doesn't want us talking about this. What the meat of the matter that he obviously Adidas, Apple, I'm sure he's going to get a cut from Adidas, a cut from Apple. Is he going to get an expansion team? Because that's $500-600 million right there.
I don't know if he's going to get an expansion team, but it's reported he's going to get a percentage of ownership in a team at some point. I don't know if that'll be in Miami. It'll be one of the expansion teams that's to come. I mean, MLS continues to expand. They recently announced a new team in San Diego. They'll probably continue to expand beyond that because, I mean, there's no shortage of cities and ownership or owners that are interested in joining the league. So Messi has got a sweetheart deal. It was always going to be more than just X amount from the Moss brothers. So he got a deal that was too good to turn up. It's going to be about corporate sponsors. Apple, again, I don't know if you guys caught this before, but, yesterday they announced they have a documentary on him coming up. So it's a bunch of different things. Similar to David Beckham when he signed. It's not just about a contract from MLS. It's about everything else that comes around it. He's going to grow his brand here. He's going to help, it's already probably his financial future for his family is probably already well taken care of for generations.
Please.
But just add on to it.
Yeah.
Add on to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And he could leave a team if he gets one in their in his family. Busquets now comes, right? I would imagine.
I think so. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of talk right now. There's a lot of rumors and whispers that it's not going to be just Messi that's coming this summer. It's going to be, Busquets potentially. There's talk about other players like Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba. I mean, how does that really work though? In a league that has rules, are these rules going to open up now that Messi's here?
Hey, wait a minute. At Inter Miami, we have 5 DPs. So no. We make the rules here in Inter Miami. Okay, we break into the league and they say you only have 3. We say no, we're gonna have 5. So that's where you're wrong, young man. Okay, they make the rules there.
MLS is a league that makes the rules as they go along. Inter Miami got punished for that back in 2020. But maybe this is a turning point for the league because, when Beckham arrived, there was no DP rule. David Beckham's arrival is what led to the designated player mechanism, right? That's what it used to be called the David Beckham rule, just kind of casually. Then it became, it's officially called designated player. So maybe Messi's arrival will signal the opening of the purse strings for more teams or all teams to do more. And if Inter Miami can bring 3, 4, or 5 players and help elevate not only themselves but the league in terms of how much spending a team can do, then that's incredible for the sport.
Yeah, but it's not really the team spending it. That's the problem there. It's Apple helping you out. It's Adidas helping you out. And then, by the way, talking about the others that may come, that's very important because I was going to follow up with the fact that if Messi comes here, he's just going to kill himself and do nothing because the team's really not good. So that's why I was going to say that, okay, you're bringing Messi. You better improve this team, bro, because to have Messi and not win a lot of games in the MLS, and we've seen it when Chicharito got here, he struggled big time. We've seen stars come here and struggle in adjusting to the MLS. And so there really isn't a lot of help here for him. And so that's one thing that I am kind of concerned with Messi. What else is coming? Because you've got to tweak this roster. This roster is just not good enough.
No, there's going to be changes. The team that you see today, by and large, will not be the team that you will see a year from now. I mean, the team will be more built around Messi. I'm sure some pieces, of course, will stay, especially some of the younger pieces. But by and large, I think you can expect a lot of pieces to move, if not this summer, then this winter when the season's over. Just to throw out names just randomly. Maybe a Campana gets sold. Maybe Joseph Martinez isn't back. Maybe Gene Mota and Gregory aren't here next year. It's just that those type of draft pieces that are seen as integral to the team today may not be here in 6 months to a year because they're going to build this thing around Messi. It's not going to be Messi plus these guys. It's going to be Messi and guys for Messi. Just like the World Cup. The World Cup, he had a bunch of runners around him. Rodrigo de Paul, there's just a bunch of pieces that suit him and they can best maximize his strengths. I'm sure Inter Miami is no stranger to the fact that they need to build this around him.
All right, explain to me and explain to everybody else how this deal, because this is completely different than American sports. So there was a deal talked about that it was going to be between Barcelona and Miami and they would kind of share him. This is not that deal. This is Inter Miami purchasing Messi. They own him and his rights, and then they can loan him out to Barcelona, and Barcelona will pay them for using Messi, right? So they will have They will have control of when they can use Messi and when they can loan Messi. Is that how it goes?
That's a rumor. That's a report that's out there. There's also been another report in like the last hour or so that says that Messi has just an outright deal with Inter Miami. That's for 3 seasons. It's also 4 years in a different report. There's so much going on out there. I haven't been able to get a hold of anything concrete, but the latest report is 3 years, and it's only guaranteed for 1 year. After the first year, he can choose to go, and there's a player option essentially after the first year. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff swirling out there. We don't really have the concrete details yet to say he might be loaned to Barcelona, or he's going to be here for a year and then could opt out and go somewhere else.
Well, but
I mean,
it
there's a
doesn't
lot of
sound like
stuff
it's
going on there.
but it doesn't sound like it's an Inter Barcelona partnership deal.
No.
It sounds like it's
No.
an Inter Miami MLS Adidas deal, Apple deal, and they control it. And then if they want to loan him to Barcelona, they will. But if they do, my question is, let's say that is the deal, that they control Messi and then they can use him as a loaner to Barcelona. That would be in their off season, right? It would be after October that at some time he can go, play there in Barcelona,
But
correct?
So it wouldn't make sense because, right, like if they were going to loan
Okay.
him, which was the initial report, they would loan him in August, right, the start of their season through next summer, which then means he misses the tail end of the MLS season, which wouldn't make sense. Then, so if you wanted to loan him after the MLS season, then you're talking what, January through
Right.
May of next year, and Barcelona's going to take him for half a season, so it doesn't make sense. Either you're loaning him for a full season and waiting for his arrival, or you're not loaning him at all. And I don't think they're going to
So
loan
then
him at all.
that's what this sounds like. They're not loaning him at all. That's what it sounds like.
It wouldn't make sense because either he's going to miss a very important part of the chunk of the season for Inter Miami, or he's only going to play X amount of months with Barcelona, which doesn't make sense because they have bigger plans and a bigger season and all the other things that go into building their team. So I don't think he's going anywhere.
And Inter wants to win the cup. You're not going to get rid of Messi at the most important time when you can try to go win the MLS Cup. So yeah, that would make no sense. All right.
When TV viewership is at its highest, you're not getting rid of Messi to let him go play in Barcelona. Either the deal is he's going on a year-long loan and we're postponing his arrival till next summer, or he's not going at all. That's what I would imagine.
Wow. All right. The good thing is that this is kind of like adding D Wade, right? D Wade recruits Bosch and LeBron, and then after retirement, he recruits Jimmy Butler. That's actually a good thing now, right? Inter Miami having Messi, that will be a recruiting tool also for other players, correct?
Oh, yeah. I have heard that from people in and around the club that part of the challenge here was that players that were interested in coming to South Florida because it's South Florida, it's Inter Miami, were like, well, is Messi coming? Because if Messi's coming, I want to play there. I'll take less to play with Messi. But if Messi's not coming, then maybe I won't go. Or if I do go, it's going to be more money. So, I mean, the power of Messi is going to be remarkable for Inter Miami. Of course, again, MLS has roster restrictions and all these things. So unless they open it up, like I mentioned before, maybe is a possibility, then, I mean, there's going to be limitations there. But I do think, how it was when the big three were here. And the attention that was there, the circus as it was described by multiple people around it.
Remember, my brother, I'm old. I know what the big three was like, and I know what
restaurant
and I know
around the AAA as it was known then that had.
Now, what I was trying to tell you is that being old, I know exactly what the big three is like, and I also know what it was like when Pele came to the NASL.
Well, I mean, then you're not old, brother. You're a fossil then. But no. I call
I'm a
you
fossil,
legend,
bro. What can I tell you, bro? I've been around a long time. I've been around a long time.
You're a legend, bro. You can't be a legend unless you've had time in the game. So, I've always called you legend since the day we met. So, but no, look, listen, it's going to have massive impact economically, socially, from a sporting, it's going to be massive. So
soccer bars in South Florida all of a sudden said, man, this is awesome. We're going to have people come out here to watch an Inter Miami game because nobody's going to be able to get tickets. So,
if you have season tickets, you did well. If you have season tickets now, you did well. So,
bro, I told my buddy who's got lots of cash, I told him 2 months ago, I said, bro, he's coming. They're going to do this. They have no choice. They can't build really a team. So they have to go out and go get these guys so they can help build the whole thing up. He's coming. They set aside 10 and 5. They haven't sold their single game tickets for this. Bro, go buy a bunch of season tickets. He mother effed me this morning. I didn't answer at the moment because I was at Dolphins camp, but he left me a voicemail like, man, you were right. I'm a fucking asshole. I should have gone. I should have gotten the tickets. I could have made a lot of money. And now, boy, whoever has season tickets, man, if you feel like selling those tickets, you're going to sell them for a lot of money. And here's the other thing, Franco. I don't think you can do it in every corner of that stadium, but I wouldn't be surprised if some seats start popping up in the corners of those stadiums, of that stadium.
I mean, there's talk about them moving stadiums because, you're probably limiting how much income you can have if you continue to play at DraftKings Stadium. So there's talk about going to Hard Rock. I don't know if
you can't. You can't. The Canes play on Saturdays. You can't. You might get away with a game or two. Maybe you might be able to do a playoffs or something, but I doubt you're going to be able to do a lot of games there because they've got 2 tenants already there, and then they've got concerts and other things. I don't know what they've got set up over the next several months, but it's too much conflict with the Canes on Saturday on that.
Yeah, and the relationship between Jorge Mas and people at that own Hard Rock Stadium it hasn't always been reported.
Really?
To be
Why?
The best.
Why?
You know how it goes, man. American soccer with the pyramid and no relegation and all those things.
Oh,
but listen. Money talks, though. Money talks.
Yeah.
Jorge Mas might become best friends with the
Right.
people over there pretty soon because money talks. So
yeah. And by the way, if it's a 3-year deal, he will only maybe play 1 year in the new stadium if they are able to do it in the next 2 years. If they're able to do it in the next 2 years. If not, he may never play in the new stadium. So that's kind of screwed up, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Miami Total Football is the podcast. It gives you all the information you need and insight on Inter Miami. And with Messi coming, you're going to need it. So make sure you subscribe and follow him on Twitter at Franco Panizo. Franco, thank you as always, my brother. You're the best.
no problem. Daily updates on Miami Total Football. Big O. We'll talk soon, I'm sure.
You got it, baby. Be good. That's right. Daily updates. Follow him there. Miami Total Football. Franco Panizo. Good work as always. Wonder if Inter Miami's contract with Messi would be like the Mets and Bobby Bonilla. Contract for 4. No. And by the way, there is a cap in, because somebody asked. The thing is that in the MLS, they allow you to get 3 DPs. Okay? And so those designated players are international players. And those 3 are not counted against the cap. All the rest of your players are counted against the cap. And it's not a big cap. They don't have a large cap yet. They're not there yet. But the other 3, they allow you. FIU Stadium, that's not bad, but, they have another soccer team there called Miami FC. So I don't know if Ricardo Silva wants to just say, yes, come play in my stadium. 20,000. 18, not by much. The difference is not much. And then you're going to be sharing revenue, so you're not going to make any money. So the FIU Stadium will make them more money, actually, because it only seats 2,000 more. Plus, you're going to have to give FIU money for using the stadium. So they're going to take a nice chunk out of it. That's the thing. They're going to have to come up with some creative way of coming up with more seating in that stadium. That's all. Yeah, they've got to be thinking about it already, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah. And what is their thing? Construction. They can do it, bro. Don't worry about it. They'll be fine.
And plus, they're going to want to sell more of the box seats anyways. And then that one to the left.
All those suites.
What's that one called?
that
area
the Heineken, whatever.
Yeah, where
center.
you just sit there and just watch.
That's sold out. That'll be sold out.
Tickets are going to be going crazy.
No. The tickets will be right now. Their phones are ringing off.
I'm sure.
Too Extreme says he called, and I go, well, Too Extreme. Come on, bro. You called too late. You guys got to listen to me when I tell you things. We just kind of do this on the show. We kind of, everybody's talking about, Tyler's coming back to game 3. And I don't know. Somebody says, maybe Tyler playing is not that much of a hurry. It's really not that necessary. And did you ever think, don't you want to start? Maybe you want to keep Tyler healthy so you could trade him in the offseason for a star. We'll see. He went through a workout today. So I don't know. We'll see if he's cleared down the line. I get a feeling if they win.
Yeah, he stays out. He's not getting rested up. If we need you, then we'll break glass in case of emergency.
That's it. We'll call him Maury Stoudemire and he'll break glass and his finger at the same time.
Frankie had thrown out FAU. Do they want to go further north?
It won't matter with Messi.
Okay.
With Messi, it won't matter.
Okay.
People will drive wherever to go see Messi. That's a great call. Here's the problem with that. is that field made for soccer? Does that field have the soccer dimensions? Because if it's not wide enough, then you're Yankee Stadium or you're one of those, and you don't want to do that either. You know what I mean? But that's a magnificent idea. I love that idea.
That's not a. You also said screw it, make a turf and play in Homestead Speedway.
Wow, that would be actually like super cool. You're so far away from the pitch.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's the problem with all of that stuff, that you're so far away from the pitch.
But I mean,
racetracks are great for that stuff, but the problem is that there's a track in the way.
Yeah,
it's distance everything, you know. So
there's got to be a piece of land somewhere they could just throw up. I
we
gotta
don't have
believe
much.
they could throw.
We don't have much left here, man. You have to go so west nowadays. You know, and they got something in the city by miracle by doing what they did. It's just a matter of building it up in time, but it is what it is. Let's see, what else do we have? I said it because they've played there before. What are we talking about? Lone Depot Park. Lone Depot Park, yeah, but remember there was already that issue with, well, Jeter's gone, but it is Sherman and Jeter that they sold the baseball team to, not to Moss. And then Moss is going to go back and grovel over to play at that stadium. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. And they're broke, and they'll want the money. Yeah, no. Now, you know what they'll do? They'll just raise the ticket prices here at the stadium. That's all. It'll be impossible for you to go to a game because you're going to need a lot of money to go to a game. And that's the way it is. That's how they'll make their money. The suites will go for a lot more money. And the regular seats are going to go for a lot more money. Let me throw something at you there, Sean Stanley, sir. Okay. Do you minimize the supporters bench and start selling?
I think you compact it a little bit more, and I guarantee you the visiting team will not have that whole side over there anymore.
Just saying, things may be changing.
It's going to be a tighter ticket to get, I guarantee you.
Money's too tight to mention.
Yep.
So, you know.
Instead of giving them that whole area over there, maybe you give them that little, half or a quarter of what they got now.
Let's take a quick break and send that slacker Omar Kelly a text. What the hell's going on? Let's get Omar Kelly on. Let's switch gears. Let's talk a little football with Omar Kelly. Let's talk some Tua. Let's talk some practice with Omar Kelly. And then at 3:30, Ira Winderman will join us. We'll turn the corner. We'll preview Heat and Denver. Plenty of stuff to talk about right here on the Big O Radio Show, live from Caneswear, where we got a ton of Inter Miami gear. Messi, baby. So come on out here. Yeah. Hour number 2 is next. Omar Kelly starts it off.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time to talk Aqua and Orange, Miami Dolphins fans. It's the Essential Moving Experts Miami Dolphins Exchange with Omar Kelly. When you're looking to move your home or business anywhere in the U.S. from coast to coast, call Essential Moving Experts at 305-602-8369. Flat rates and no surprise charges. EssentialMovingExperts.com. 305-602-8369. Let's talk Dolphins football. Here's Omar Kelly.
There he is, Omar Messi, joining us here on the program. You ready for Messi?
Sure. I heard that ticket was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly. The tickets are going to be
this because you've been paying attention. But how many years has this been teased and finally delivered?
4 years. All 4 years that the Moss brothers were here, Messi was linked to them, and finally it has happened. Now he was younger 4 years ago, so things have changed. So now he's at a point where he's ready to make a move here to the country. So it's going to be really interesting, man, to see both of us have covered stars. But nothing like this, bro. This is a guy that has 468 million followers on Twitter.
Okay. Now, is it justified? Is he still a good player?
Oh, he's still, yeah, dude. He just won the World Cup. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's still a great player.
Yeah.
I know you don't follow it. I get it. Yeah. Oh, Sean wants to know, do you know where the World Cup is?
Where it was?
No, what it is. You know what the World Cup
is? Yeah, I know what the World Cup is.
Okay, we're just checking. Just checking. All right, let's I got to tell you, Omar, 2 days straight, Skylar Thompson had the best throw of the day. The inside shoulder he threw yesterday, and then that little skinny post he threw today. Skylar's looked all right, actually, man. He's done a nice job.
Because this is what I enjoy. I enjoy watching practice. Not a lot of people enjoy watching practice. I practice to me is like a game every day, so I thoroughly enjoy it. And based on what I saw from OTAs, I'm like, Skylar's your number 2 quarterback. I know you paid Mike White $4 million, but I'm sorry, that arm doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't. What
does it for me is I'm just watching Skylar play really good. That's what does it for me. Yeah. I'm with you guys on. I'm not impressed with Mike White yet, but I you know what? I'm going to wait for more scrimmages and 11-on-11s when we get to training camp, when we get to the preseason, because he might be one of those dudes.
What I'm saying is, it's a competition.
Amen.
It is not Mike White's here's the number 2 quarterback. No, Skylar's not taking a back seat to him. Skylar's saying, hey, you're trying to take my spot, not vice versa. And he's performing like the guy who has a superior understanding of the offense and more chemistry with the weapons. Now, it was interesting to see him deliver that touchdown pass, 70-yard touchdown pass to Davis, because this is a guy he doesn't have chemistry with.
Exactly.
I know the guys he has chemistry with. You give him Tanner Conner or Connor Tanner. I can never remember which one it is.
Tanner Conner.
You give him Tanner Conner and Easy Eric Uzukama, I guarantee you he's shredding up. And give him A-Chain, or Savon, I guarantee you, Skyler's going to be shredding up the defense. But I'm also not really big on the second team defense based on what's practicing right now, or just what's in general. It's just
I just love the throw, that it was on the money and it was accurate.
He doesn't. I'm not surprised by anything he's done. I was actually surprised, and I've said this to you. I was surprised he performed as poorly as he did when he got his opportunity. And I get it. He didn't practice. He didn't practice with the offense in a lot of those games. But then there were games where he did practice.
That first time he wasn't as prepared, right? Yeah. That first time it was tough.
And I get it. The speed ratchets up, but I've seen Tyler play and practice well. I can tell you right now, and this is, I'm who I am. I shoot it straight. Skylar Thompson practices better than Ryan Tannehill did probably his entire career. Like, Ryan Tannehill was not a good practice performer. Tyler is a good practice performer. So he'll pull something out his butt cheeks every day. It just, you could expect that. Whereas Ryan would not do that.
Yeah, no, well, Ryan kind of was the same guy in practice that he was in games, kind of conservative in the way that he played the game. But yeah, I just been very impressed with Skyler overall. In that, again, way too early to say anything.
These are way too early predictions. I might write a column.
Way too early. Way too early.
I might write a column called the super way too early predictions.
Right. But at least early on, I'm just more impressed with Skyler than Mike White, and we'll see how all of that ends up developing throughout.
What I like today.
Go ahead.
What I like today, and which is what I wrote about in my 5 observations for All Dolphins, is the run game was forceful today. They ran the ball, and they were working on some play action stuff, but they ran the ball consistently today, and that was without Teron Armstead and Connor Williams. And I'm like, could this be a second-year surge for them, or was it the fact that the D-line is completely watered down from guys not practicing or guys who are nursing injuries? No Jalen Phillips, no Bradley Chubb, no Sealer. So, no David Long, really, very little inside linebacker. But when you can successfully run the ball without pads, that's a good day.
I'm with you there. What do we know about the Connor Williams holdout?
He decided to give away $33,000 today by not showing up for day 2. Tomorrow, if he doesn't show up, he'll give away $44,000 for a full total of $93,000. As I wrote in a column that I did yesterday, you made your point the first day. You skipped it. You should pull the Rashad Jones follow the Rashad Jones playbook. You skip the first day, save yourself some money, and show up for the second day. And then talk about why you skipped the first day. You get double the headlines. You get to get your message out. But right now, you're pretty much giving away a little baby Mercedes because you want to make a point. Which, hey, if they give you a new deal and they rescind that $93,000 fine, cool. But did you know in the CBA there is no mandate that you participate in minicamp practice? All you have to do is be here.
Right.
In the new CBA. Right. So you could have just
hold in. Right. Hold in. Right.
And
that's what I thought most guys do nowadays.
Yeah. But hey, he's got our attention. But if I'm the Dolphin, I don't know what I do. I've always said, and I do believe this, that re-signing him would have been one of the first things that I did from a business standpoint. Instead of signing Teron Armstead, instead of getting money from Teron and Tyreek, I would have signed Connor to an extension and gotten myself a little bit of cap space. I don't object to paying him $11 million a year, because he's a player that I look at once I watch the film and I say, of all the offensive linemen that I have on my roster, I want to build an offensive line around him. I can't build it around Teron because of his age and durability issues. I want to build this offensive line around Connor. And, You know, maybe the Dolphins don't agree. Maybe they do agree. We will see. You know, what will motivate them to redo that deal when they're probably looking at it from a standpoint of $7 million is pretty decent money. You're the 8th highest paid center in the league this year.
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of they don't want to play on a 1-year contract. They want to get an extension.
Yeah, no player. And this is what fans have to understand, because when I said I commended him, I said on Twitter, I commended him for what he's doing.
He's doing the right thing. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Doing the right thing for himself and his family. No player in the NFL should be playing on an expired contract. Now, if you have the leverage to change that, you do it. Now, not everybody does have the leverage to change that. Like, there are 28 guys who are playing on 1-year contracts here. Like, not all of them are going to have the leverage to do anything about that. But the guys who do have the leverage, you better do what's in your power to ensure that you have a little bit of an investment, a little bit of security for the next year because of injury. Maybe because you're doing that, you sign at 75 cents on the dollar. But you could roll the dice like Emmanuel Ogbah did. Emmanuel Ogbah didn't like playing for $7 million a year 2 years ago, but he did that and it turned into $15 million a year. So
where I screwed up was I thought I was on the reverse of what you said. I thought they would put Connor off towards the end of the year, right before the year ended, that they'd cut some kind of a deal, or right in the beginning of the offseason, give him a new contract. But if you're him and his agent, you're looking around going, well, wait a minute, these guys got to pay Wilkins and Sealer and Tua's coming up and Jalen Phillips and Jalen Waddle.
It is a race to the money. Like,
it
is a race to the money. Like, Raekwon, Christian.
Yeah, I don't put Raekwon as Raekwon's not as desperate as some of those other guys.
Bro, Raekwon should be the most desperate guy, because here's
well, he needs to come up with a hell of a year, and then he can be desperate.
I mean, no matter what, he's a nose tackle. They're the hardest thing to find in the NFL outside of elite cornerbacks. I mean, elite quarterbacks.
Yeah,
like nose tackles are a dying breed, and they're a very important cog to 3-4 defenses. Whether he plays, he could have the identical year he had last year. He's still going to make 8 times what he's making this year, which is $1.4 million. Like, you're either going to pay it or you're not. Like, you know, he's a hard position to find. And I will say this about Raekwon Davis. He's had a sack every single day I've been out here, which I'm like, could this be a scheme that benefits you? Because you were a sack producer at Alabama. And I'm not saying that it is, but like, there's a very short list of guys who's delivered a sack every single day. And I think him and Mitchell Agude is probably the only players on it.
And he did it, and Agude was decent again today.
I wouldn't give him. We sat and debated it, and I guys wanted to give him a sack, and I was like, yeah, that's a pressure, because I saw Mike White see the pressure and throw the ball away, so I'm not gonna give him a sack. We got to come up with something where a defender, like today, I watched a guy clap his hands when he got close to the quarterback, and I was
that was Ogbah, right?
I think it was Ogbah, and I was like, that's a good, like, we need to know if you clap your hands before the guy throws the ball, okay, we got to give you the sack.
Right.
Like, we got to figure something out like that as defenders. I'm going to talk to the guys about it.
So that means I can line up every day at practice, just snap the ball and just clap, and then you'll give me a sack.
No. There's a guy here who keeps trying to take credit. I forget what his name is. It's either Nelson or no, it's Zeke, the inside linebacker. Like, he's in the right position, but another guy's getting pressured. He's raising his hand, and we all find it cute that, you know, Zeke's raising his hand. But, you know, come on, bro. We can see. Like, but yeah, I'm usually the guy, because I always watch the offensive line. Everybody plays a role. You know, everybody plays a role. You see how we work. Everybody plays a role, and I'm usually the guy watching the offensive line. I don't even follow the ball. Everybody who follows me knows I don't follow the ball. So I'll have to ask what happened afterwards, because I'm watching the trenches and watching the pressure. So I'll tell you if it's a sack or it's not. So sometimes we'll be sitting there and they'll be like, yeah, deep pass from 2. I'm like, nah, that was a sack. That was a sack from Jalen Phillips. He would have gotten there, you know, before 2 even threw the ball.
I'm really psyched for Jalen Phillips this year. I think he's going to have a freaking monster year. I
We
think
talked about that yesterday.
I think it's going to be his breakout year, dude. I really do.
I expected last year to be a monster year, and you could see that the talent was there. It's there. Even Mike McDaniel, the first day yesterday, he praised Jalen Phillips for how he's practicing. Yeah, I'm not here every day, but I don't see any difference in how that dude's practicing than when he was here as a rookie. He was balls to the wall as a rookie, and yeah, maybe he knows the scheme a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe he's making. Maybe the effort's always there, but now the decisions are much better all the way through, and maybe
that guy has MVP ability. Yeah, like he's got defensive player of the year ability. No, I haven't really seen Bradley Chubb, but
he hasn't done much, at least from what I've watched.
No, he hasn't done much, but I just haven't seen Bradley Chubb work much. But Jalen Phillips sets a standard for me. That's the guy that sets a standard.
Fabrizio Romano breaking Lionel Messi. I'm gonna join Inter Miami. The decision is 100% confirmed. So there you go. If for those that are wondering about the little doubts here or there, but we had Franco Panizzo. He said pretty much it was going to be a done deal. So there we go. What else? Oh, there's video. Okay, cool. Why don't you load it up on the show there? Let's see. Get that video up and we'll play it.
Where you at today?
I'm at Caneswear today.
Okay.
I'm at Caneswear. Yeah. Mitchell Agude. What have you seen? Because it seems like he's playing better here than he did at the University of Miami.
I don't even know who he is at the University of Miami. I see a twitchy.
Like I said.
Yeah. I don't know that guy. Listen, a twitchy athlete reminds me a lot of a young Jalen Phillips. Yes, they're not in pads, so maybe things change when pads come out and guys slow down. The twitchy athletes slow down, but I can't say who he worked with today, but let's just say he was playing alongside some very respectable names that and undrafted rookies don't do that. Not in the second day of minicamp. Yes, they lack bodies, but I wouldn't say he had a very good day today, because today was probably the worst day I've seen him, but it was still an effective day. It was still a hey, let's throw him into the deep end of the pool and see if he swims kind of day. And he was all right. He didn't drown.
By the way, Mitchell Agude played 12 games last year for Miami, had 21 solo tackles, 18 assisted, total 39, 7 tackles for loss and 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Not great stats. Yeah. And by the way, he played in UCLA the 2 years before that, and he played 11 games a year before that. He had 25 tackles, 30 assists, so 55 total, 6.5 for losses, 2 sacks instead of the 4 he had last year. He had 2.5 sacks the year before that. So this is a guy that's averaged about 3 sacks a year.
Yeah, I'm good friends with Pete Bomarito, the trainer down here who trains draft prospects, and apparently he trained Mitchell, and he said he told me, he said, I see that he's doing well, and he said, yo, freakish athlete. And if Bomarito gives you an endorsement, that means you're usually going to be a superstar. And I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar, but usually when I go out and I see Bomarito and he tells me who is who out there, I didn't go out this year, but when he tells me who is who, those guys are going to be future Pro Bowlers.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about what's changed in sports from when you and I growing up, and even growing up in this business and doing it. Because nowadays kids have the freedoms to pop from one school to another as much as they want, high school or college. You might get what you want, kid, but you might never grow, and you might never get better. And you might run into another system or another coach that doesn't help you, and then you keep leaving, and it doesn't help you moving around. And then we also see in basketball, this is football, and in basketball, you have kids now that leave early, and right out of high school, they're going straight to a G League or overseas, or they're going to college and 1 year and out,
and it's harder to really scout players now. It's harder in the NFL to scout offensive linemen because everything is spread. Ask a scout now to try to figure out who's a road grader, and they're like, I have no fucking idea who can block and who can't block in the run game.
Yeah.
They'll tell you that because most schools just don't dedicate themselves to the run, so you don't have a bunch of road graders. Plus, and off the rules in college, you can get off the line and go downfield where you can in the NFL or all kinds of stuff. So it's become harder to become a scout, and this is why you can find Duncan Robinson, and this is why you can find Caleb Struess, and this is why you can find Kader Kohu, and this is why you can find all kinds of different guys now. I just think that in football and in basketball, more guys are falling through the cracks because of the way the rules are.
I could say to you, I covered the University of Miami teams where, guys, Santana Moss fell through the cracks. Ed Reeds fell through the cracks.
Yeah, but that's because he was a track guy. You're talking about the recruitment.
No, they were all football. They were all football guys. Trust me, I played with.
No, I know, but the Santana Moss story was more because he was a track guy, and that's why he kind of fell through the cracks.
I've been with Santana Moss since we went to the same high school. I've been with him since.
I know.
For Bob Warner, he's a football guy. He just happened to run track. We just didn't have a quarterback.
The guy that was recruiting, they were recruiting. I forgot which is the guy that was recruiting over at Carroll City that day. They told him, "Hey, go check out this kid that's running track," and it was Santana Moss.
Because everybody run track.
But that's what he was then at that moment. He was a track guy, not a football guy.
Every football player is a track guy during track season. I get your point. I don't agree with you on the Heat standpoint because the Heat have been developing players for 2 decades now. It doesn't matter. But
it doesn't matter if they develop them. The point is you're falling through the cracks.
Every era has players who fall through the cracks.
No, but the draft now is more of an inexact science than ever. When we were young, guys were going to college for 3 to 4 years.
That's because we got an era of bitch-ass players that
but we got to see them. My point is, Omar, in basketball, we got to see who are for 3 to 4 years. So by the time they got out, you had a better idea. Nowadays, if a kid just goes to college for 1 year and then he pops out, you don't really know who he is my point. So that's why guys will fall through the cracks now because they're not even developed yet by the time that you're getting them. They're only 1 year out of high school, 1 year in college. That doesn't help you. You don't really know who that guy is. That's what I mean by falling through the cracks.
I think it's more of an issue of players don't want to be coached. And if we're going to have this conversation, let's have this conversation. I think it's more of an issue of players don't want to be coached. Players don't want to be criticized, which is why they continuously move. And maybe because of the constant moving and the constant changing.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think that's the more of a mentality of players. This is a soft generation of
It is
of players, like
it is
to the point where you can't criticize a player anymore, professional or college. You can't criticize them. You can't critique them. They don't fit.
They get all bent out of shape. No, you're right. You're right. All right, I got Ira waiting here. What do you got going on alldolphins.com so folks can check you out, my friend?
We've got my 5 observations from practice today, which acknowledges Skylar is probably the number 2 right now, and gives Xavier a little bit of props because Xavier don't practice during this.
He looks good, by the way, in those drills where you got to leap up for the ball. He's got, you can tell he's healthy now, man.
He's X. And the thing is, I don't think Xavier is participating this much offseason stuff since maybe his rookie year.
No, but, I think the Ramsey thing has gotten pumped up. I really do.
I think they're going to have a dynamic year together if they can stay healthy. I just hope they have the linebackers and the defensive tackles to facilitate the defense. I don't know if they do because when I'm looking at X, it's kind of like I'm looking at Butler now, and we're about to talk to Ira that Butler's like he's grinding through. He's being a complete stud, but you can tell he's not 100%. He's hurting somewhere. I don't know what it is, but he's gutting it out like X did last year. All right, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch his work there at Sports Illustrated, alldolphins.com. Make sure you bookmark it. When you bookmark that, you're officially a Miami Dolphins fan. I don't know if you know that, but that's kind of the law.
Omar, as always, my brother, we'll catch up next week. I'll see you tomorrow at camp.
All right, man. See you tomorrow.
You got it. There you go. Omar Kelly. And call my guy, man, Sean Williams at Essential Moving Experts. They do an awesome job. They can move you wherever you want, folks, anywhere throughout the state, throughout the country. And they can also store your goods, too, at the same time. So if you're moving out of your current home, but your next home is still being constructed and finished, or you're remodeling or something, not ready for another week or two or a month, they can store your valuables right there at Essential Moving Experts. All your furniture, all your goods, right there at Essential Moving Experts. If you need it for a little longer, you can negotiate. But on the house is that first month. That's how good these folks are. They've got well over 1,700 folks that have just said they love the service from Essential Moving Experts. Check it out for yourself. 386-213-4054. Tell them that Big O sent you. Sean Williams, great people. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Ira Winderman is next.
You've been listening to the Essential Moving Experts Miami Dolphins Exchange with Omar Kelly. When you're looking for local, home, long moving services, or office relocation, call Essential Moving Experts at 305-602-8369. Flat rates and no surprise charges. EssentialMovingExperts.com. 305-602-8369. Miami Dolphins fans, follow Big O Radio Show on all platforms and keep up with your favorite NFL team. Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right, there we are. Ira Messi.
Crazy. Just crazy that the world's greatest soccer player, at least at one point, is going to play next to the executive airport by the Wendy's on a dirt parking lot field in a temporary stadium. Big O, if they don't move a ton of those games to Hard Rock, I would be shocked.
They can't, bro. The Canes. They both play on Saturday, doggy.
Yeah, you know what? There's other days of the week. There's ways to make it work. They need
the Wednesday games. The Wednesday
games. You need a show place for a showman. And Big O, you know what it's like when they have those marquee soccer games at Hard Rock. They sell out. It's a great atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah. And he'll sell out. He'll sell out Hard Rock. Yes. Guaranteed he'll sell out. People will come from countries. They'll fly in. Seriously, they'll make it like what we all do with Vegas. And eventually when they get a basketball team and you're a Heat fan, you're going to go out for a weekend and go catch a Heat game and hang out in Vegas, Dolphins, whatever. It's because we're a destination place. So, yeah, I'm with you. But the sad part is that they're going to be in that during his deal, they're going to be at that stadium. So they're probably going to come up with.
I think they're going to find alternate venues. I think they're going to try to maximize it. I think that's why certain ticket sales were stopped for the second half of the season. Obviously, they're in a tough spot in the standings. I just hope he doesn't come in like our friend Higuain, and smoke a pack of Marlboros and go out and walk around. Oh, yeah, no,
that's not him.
Right, because, remember, it's like you see that certain players are come. Look, let's be honest. I believe the last world ratings that Major League Soccer was like the 20th league in the world. It was behind the England's second division, what they call the championship. So it's a completely different level of competition if you arrive with the wrong mindset. And we've seen this with the LA Galaxy and other teams who are bringing stars from Mexico and other places.
Chicharito struggled. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. If you walk through it, it's embarrassing. The Higuain thing for about a season and a half, where it was clear he was just going to walk around, get a couple of PKs and call it a season. I hope it's more than that. But still, it's a hell of a story that it's happening here. Absolutely.
Crazy. Biggest star in the world, man. It's going to dwarf everything. Jimmy Butler is putting together one of the great stretches, and it's not because physically it's one. We've seen the other Jimmy Bucket score all kinds, but clearly, Ira, he's hurting somewhere because I've never seen him in the last two games get to the hole and pass and not go up for a basket. But for him to fight through whatever he's got and work the offense and get everybody else involved, let me tell you something. He might be the most selfless athlete I have ever seen in South Florida sports. He's had that attitude since he got here about getting everybody involved, and that attitude is helping him right now where clearly he's not himself right now.
Well, and it's like I've written, you can say what you want about Jimmy as a teammate or not. He tends to be off on his own. He does his own thing. But he, to me, is maybe the greatest Heat game mate ever. When that clock starts, what he does for his other players, and I got to tell you, Big O, I haven't had a chance to talk to you since. When I voted for MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals, and I got a lot of feedback on that because people thought Caleb Martin was more impactful.
Yes.
But to me, Jimmy Butler made Caleb Martin more impactful. And Caleb Martin, so many of his big plays came off of Jimmy getting off the ball after drawing the attention by simply being Jimmy Butler. And that, to me, is the difference. And you might say, hey, Ira, Jimmy Butler's only scored 34 points in 2 games in these finals. But in game 2, he scored 21 and took the defensive assignment against Jamal Murray. There's not a lot of two-way stars like that who are going to take something that grueling. Same thing basically Bam has done against Jokic. And that's the thing. When you're a two-way player, it's not just the statistics and the shots. It's the overall two-way contribution.
Right.
And the one thing we know about the Miami Heat, they're not going to outscore you. They have to do with a balance of offense and defense when they're at their best. Jimmy's an example of that. Bam's an example of that. You talk about how Bam doesn't have that much of a offensive dog on him, but he has the other side. Defense is relentless, and it's being noticed now. You might talk about how Jimmy.
Wait a minute, but let's give Bam. I'll give him a little love here. They've given him space here, and he's taking advantage of it, and he is aggressive offensively right now. So I will give him a little love here that he has been, he still ain't a star. He's still a super role player in my eyes.
He's doing what's needed.
But he's doing
what's needed.
He's taking
and
it.
Jimmy
with love.
is doing, and same thing. And Jimmy is doing what's needed and take it as needed. He had 9 assists last game. Everyone's talking about Joker. Oh, Joker has to be more of a passer, has to get everyone involved. There's not a time I remember with Jimmy Butler when he didn't get everyone involved. Yes, he had that 56-point game against the Bucks in Game 4 when it was clear he had to be the guy. But the reason that Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson are doing what they're doing is because there's a star here who's willing to get off the ball. Not a post pivot center like Bam and Joker who play as a fulcrum, but a guy who could just as easily score on his own, but understand what it means to get teammates involved. So I would not minimize, even with his statistics, what Jimmy Butler has done these playoffs and this series so far.
Why do you guys not ask him what injury he's dealing with because he's not going to answer it, or what's the deal? Because
I don't think it's an injury.
Nobody really has asked him directly, hey, Jimmy, you clearly are not yourself right now.
He talked about it before the start of the finals that he had a bum ankle and he's pushing through. Look, for him to say he had a bum ankle is sort of a breakthrough because Big O, he missed game 2 against New York, didn't talk about the ankle the rest of that series, never mentioned the ankle against Boston, and then comes in before the finals and at least mentions it. But I think it's also a case of that he has a lot going on. I think it's a matter of that he's also trying to get so many other players involved. Jimmy does it differently. This won't be the Michael Jordan finals. This won't be the Steph Curry draining the shots. This will be Jimmy getting others involved, keeping himself involved. That's why I thought he was best player in the Eastern Conference Finals. And that's why I probably will vote for him over even Bam if they win this series, because I still think 2 ways he's done more than anyone in this series to this point.
And let me tell you something. I got a little happy when I found out because I was concerned. I thought Caleb's struggles in the first 2 games were maybe his head got a little too big from having all that success in the Eastern Conference, doing all the interviews and all that stuff. And then I found out that he was ill. And so that's actually, I'm not happy that he was ill, but I'm really happy that that's really what was kind of affecting his game.
Oh, yeah.
What do we know about where Caleb is at illness-wise, and has he turned the corner there?
Yeah,
because
a lot more.
Think about this. You're 1-1 without Caleb being Caleb.
Yes, without him being his best. And I think, honestly, Eric Spoelstra didn't say this, but I think when he moved Kevin Love into the starting lineup, it was a way of reducing the minutes on Caleb Martin. Caleb only played 6 minutes in the first half on Sunday. So he gave him a little bit of a break. Caleb was awful in the pregame. I don't like to give up too much. I don't want to set him up to the opponents to let him know, but he was hacking, he was coughing. He was sniffling. He was congested. It was not good. It was in a lot of other lines of work, or honestly, Big O, other times of the season, either he wouldn't have played or they would have told him, get the hell out of the locker room. We don't need you here right now.
Yeah, right.
So he was very much under the weather. Yesterday, he did his media session in a hoodie with the hoodie on and the long sleeves on. Clearly still had a bit of the chill, so he's pushing through it, but he is pushing through it. And when push came to shove at the end of that game and they needed that corner three, he was there to deliver. He is a big moment player. You know what I'll say? I'll say this about Caleb Martin, because I think now he's growing in us and we're seeing it. Caleb Martin is not afraid. Not afraid of the finals, not afraid of the big moment, not afraid of the Celtics, not afraid of the Nuggets. He's a tough SOB who a year from now is going to get paid.
Yeah, and he should get paid. I mean, he's the one guy that I look at and I say, yeah, you gotta keep that guy long term, because he might be the guy that turns into another star next to Jimmy. The other thing that I wanted to ask you, what was it? Oh yes, Tyler. So the Tyler stuff that people talked about, Shams reported that he was going to play in Game 3. Obviously, he's not playing in Game 3. He's having his share of setbacks. Kind of play a little Oliver Stone here for you. If you're the Miami Heat, you got to the Eastern Conference Finals without him last year.
Correct.
You were a shot away from getting to the finals. You're 1-1. Really, if Caleb comes back to being Caleb, you're going to be fine. You really don't need him. Do you need to force a guy that you then have to force into a lineup who then is also often injured, and you might re-injure him again, where then he spends the entire offseason rehabbing, which could hurt a trade value? And if you really look at it this offseason, you could probably trade a Duncan and trade a Tyler and get a Dame Lillard in return or something like that. If you're the Miami Heat, are you really pushing hard to get Tyler back? Or is it almost better to get him healthy so maybe you can trade him in the offseason for a star?
Well, but here's the bigger point, Big O. So I'm going to go through this with you, okay? If Tyler plays, someone doesn't play, correct? Or takes someone's minute.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Are you going to play
That's
Tyler?
Why I said you got to force.
Are you going to play Tyler over Max Strus now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Let me just continue. Are you going to play Tyler over Caleb Martin? Are you going to play Tyler over Gabe Vincent? Are you going to play Tyler over Duncan Robinson, Mr. 10 points in the fourth quarter? Are you going to play Tyler over Kyle Lowry, who's come up with some big shots in the series?
Different position, too, point guard. No, I can't.
Okay,
I can't.
so that's what I'm saying is that there's a yin and the yang of this. This is what I would do. If Tyler passes his test that he can take contact on the hand without further injury, I'd put him in uniform. No harm there. You don't have to have more than anyone inactive in the playoffs. Everyone's active. The two-way guys aren't. You know what? Someone gets hurt. Someone gets in foul trouble. Someone gets ill. An emergency. Break open time. Or you know what, Big O? You're down 20 at the start of the third quarter and none of your guys are hitting shots and you need to get some buckets. So take off the bucket hat and go get some buckets. I'd have him ready. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play. And yeah, it's going to be such an interesting offseason with Tyler because of this. If you can split Tyler's money between Max Strus and Gabe Vincent, I know NBA is a league about stars, but if you could pay both Gabe and Max or carry Tyler's salary because of the luxury tax and the second level now we know is even more onerous and you actually wind up in trouble, that's going to be a decision for the Heat to make. If Damian Lillard really wants to get moved, and my God, he's playing all the games right now, Tyler is going to be the asset piece there. If Bradley Beal, who has a no-trade clause, so he dictates where he wants to go. I know we've had this discussion. What I'm saying is Tyler's future is really murky. Let me ask you this, Big O, and then I'll do it also. What percentage chance, I remember we did this 3 years ago, what percentage chance do you think Tyler Hero is back with the Miami Heat next season?
0.
0?
0.
All right.
0.
Folks, I don't know if his email is somewhere down here, but I know you have his Twitter. You can go right to him. I would say there's a 25% chance he won't. I still think, as much as you think that, it's hard to make deals like that.
Remember, you're talking to the guy that told you Flo was getting fired during a winning streak. So, when I got conviction, I got conviction.
I also will stop an FTX, but we'll leave that alone.
I know, but seriously, I think the Heat know that just in case they do fall short in this one, then they know that they're going to have to get a star. And Tyler, it's time now.
Well, and
Tyler
Big
Dunk-
O.
and Duncan has done a marvelous job of rebuilding his value now. Because, God, I'm so proud of him. How he puts it on the floor, how he drives to the hoop, how he sets
I'll tell
others
him.
up. I mean, he has really worked his ass off, dude.
Right. And
To
Big
be
O, the
more
other
than
part,
just a shooter.
the other part of it is this. And if
Awesome.
they win without Tyler, they didn't need
Right.
Tyler. So you
Right.
got both sides there. So look,
Right.
Boy Wonder's in a tough spot. The reason they did the deal when they did is he's now trade eligible starting in July after the end of the season. You got a nice $30, $30 million chunk to throw in there. You put him and Kyle Lowry in a deal, you get any player in the NBA at any salary. Kyle's
That's right.
expiring. Hey, you know what? Some small markets, you're not going to get a Tyler Hero locked in for 4 years like you could on his extension. People aren't going to the Indiana or to certain places as free agents, so you could lock him in. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting offseason. I agree with that. For now, if Tyler clears and he's able to play, hey, put him in a uniform. It'll be a wardrobe upgrade if nothing else, and then let him go from there.
All right. If the Miami Heat go on to win the NBA title, does Pat Riley retire?
No, because I don't think Pat Riley's going to retire because go out a winner or doesn't want to go out a loser. I think Pat Riley does this as long as he enjoys it. Pat Riley enjoys it. The one thing I get to see during the season, we're seeing it a little bit now, is it practices in the arena on the practice court or even when he travels on the road, you just see him sitting there with Adam Simon, with Andy Ellisberg. Erik Spoelstra always comes over and talks to him before he talks to the press. Pat enjoys it. This is his atmosphere. You know, it's like, I mean, honestly, Big O's, my wife always kids, if we win lotto, are you going to retire? I'm sure you're the same way. Even if you win lotto, you like what you do. You enjoy it. So I don't think a win or a loss is going to impact Pat. I think one day Pat's going to get out of bed and go, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Pat talked about when he quit coaching. If you remember the scene in Forrest Gump when he's running across the country, back and forth, and then he stops. And he just looks around and he goes, I'm finished. That's what Pat Riley said when he got up at those airport tarmacs at 4 a.m. and realized, I'm done with coaching. I'm not going to be in this tarmac in Detroit waiting for the team bus. And I think he'll determine it, whether it's a championship season, whether it's falling short, whether it's a 15-win season. Pat Riley enjoys it. He enjoys, it's almost like being John Malkovich. He enjoys being Pat Riley. And he's really being Pat Riley when he's being in the NBA.
How important, we'll wrap it up with this.
Sure.
How important was it to win in Denver and to instill that doubt into Denver, who was undefeated at home, who was, praised by everybody out there, who was nobody could solve the riddle of the Denver Nuggets, and yet Spo again, the greatest out there. As you know me, I love to praise that guy. That guy is just freaking amazing. How he designed the perfect defense to kind of slow them down and give his team a chance to win. And now they question their effort. Then they got to tell you that they went to Green's house that was out in the boonies, and that now that they became together a team, which, brother, the whole season is about that, not this moment. So I think the win was nice.
Yes.
But the doubt was
they
amazing.
planted a seed of doubt. You're spot on. Big O, I'm going to go this far, and we'll fact check me next week. I think the winner of Game 3 wins the series. I think if the Heat can make it 2 in a row against Denver, and all of a sudden Denver realizes, wait, they don't have to win. They don't have to win in Denver again. We're in trouble. Yeah. By contrast, if the Heat give up the home court, Denver goes up. We're back to altitude. This time the Heat aren't arriving 2, 3, 4 days early before the game. They're going to have to get used to our place. We'll let them know. So, yeah, I think tonight is kind of weird at 1-1 in a best of 7, but I think tonight's the swing game of the series. I think the winner of Game 3 wins the NBA Finals.
What do you got going on in the Sun Sentinel leading up to the game?
Did a really fun story if you have some time. I did a story about how players who get called up on pick and rolls are sort of fresh meat. And what's it like when they're trying to get Duncan Robinson to switch on them, or Kevin Love on them, or Max Strus on them. And the guys are really honest. They say, hey, we know why they're switching, because they don't think I can defend, and they're trying to rip me apart and turn me into a human carcass. So I spoke to everyone, and I built the story around, if you remember, the 2016, I believe it was, NBA Finals, when Kevin Love got caught on that switch with Steph Curry and had to defend him on the decisive final play, and Steph missed, and he said, look, You get called up on the pick and roll all the time. You have to make a stand. Duncan was really good. I thought when I approached him and said, hey, you're a bad defender. What's it like? And he took me through and he goes, hey, I know what they're trying to do. I know they're going to try to get me on Jamal Murray. And I know that I've got to meet the challenge. And Eric Spoelstra said, don't you think we're doing that with Jimmy Butler all the time? Right. I mentioned, if you remember, Peyton Pritchard got called up on Jimmy Butler to a point, I think Peyton Pritchard left the building crying what Jimmy tormented him. So I did a story about what it's like to be fresh meat in the NBA and how the players are carnivores. So that's at sunsentinel.com and in your paper tomorrow.
And follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and enjoy the game tonight. Thank you, Ira. We'll catch up next week.
Catch you next week in our accurate Pembroke Pines report. Thanks, Big O.
Thank you, sir. Ira Winderman with our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. They're at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Go out there, folks. Listen, I've had an Acura in my family now for well over 10 years now. We've had an Acura in our family, whether it's my daughter or my wife or myself driving. And I tell you, because they are incredibly reliable vehicles. So if you're looking to buy or lease a brand new vehicle, or maybe you want to get a certified pre-owned vehicle, get on down there, tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you, man. Great dealership. And if you own or lease an Acura, Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber, they do an awesome job running that service center. They are fantastic people and a great dealership. Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Dre's telling me, y'all see the Zion baby mama drama with a bunch of other girls Zion was sleeping with? It's all over Twitter. He's trending right now. That guy trends for all the wrong reasons. Where he's a fat ass, he's lazy, and they gave him a new contract. It's really amazing, dude. And then looks like what? I guess he's sticking his pecker all over the place. I mean, like, they all make the same stupid mistake. Doesn't matter who they are, bro. Politicians, actors, entertainers, athletes, they get rich and then they want to go have 80 kids with 80 different wives or baby mamas. Why does your ass want to go broke doing all that, bro? What do you got, Sean?
The Bills might get hit with another jinx this season.
Oh, the cover for Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen made the cover of Madden, right? Madden. So, yeah. I mean, listen, the Bills are going to get hit with it anyways. It's called the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are going to wallop their asses. Miami Dolphins are winning the AFC East. I keep saying it. I've said it for months now, and I'm sticking to it. Dolphins will be the best team in the AFC East. They'll prove it. That's what the Bills are going to get hit by. They may blame it on Madden. I'm just going to blame it on the better team in the division, the Dolphins. They were on the brink last year of beating their asses. They're just like Jalen Phillips. Same thing. Jalen Phillips got much better last year, and brother, he was this close to like 7,000 sacks. And this year, that will be gone, and that quarterback will be on his ass. And Phillips is going to have a monster year this year. Sometimes you just see things growing and maturing and headed in the right direction. And to me, that's what this is. Rick D. Man, thank you for the love in the super chat, by the way. Appreciate it. He says, why trade Duncan when his play improved? His defense, too, though still a little liability, unless a part of a package deal for a player like Lillard. Rick, that's what I'm talking about. I'm trading Duncan for a star. I'm trading Tyler and Duncan in a first rounder or two for Dame Lillard. That's what it's going to take. I'm not giving them Lowry. You know why? Because Lowry's salary alone is $30 million. So I'm going to save that for the trade deadline. I can add me another star that's disgruntled somewhere, and I give them an expiring contract, and I take their star off their hands. So then I add 2 stars next year. So I can add 1 star with the contracts of Tyler and Duncan. Those 2 contracts alone, that's $45 million or 46, something like that. And then the 2 first rounders add a little bit more. So I'm fine. I can get any star in the league for that. But I'm going to get Lillard for that. Okay, great. Now, boom. And now I've got Kyle Lowry. And I'm going to save Kyle Lowry, and I'm going to use it at the trade deadline when there's another star out there that's disgruntled and they want the cap space. And here's your cap space. Boom. Give me the player. Over. Done. So that's what I would do. Okay? And that way I get rid of the salaries that are bringing you down, which are Duncan, Tyler, and Lowry. Yeah, they're helping out now, but Spo, we have David Copperfield. The rest of the league doesn't. So David Copperfield will make up for the rest of those guys because Tyler's gone and they made up for him. Oladipo's gone, they made up for him. Right? Not that Oladipo really added anything because he hadn't proven anything so far since he's been here. He'll flash a couple of moments, but he has never done anything, unfortunately. But either way, it's still depth and money that you're spending on Oladipo. By the way, that's another expiring contract that you can trade because this second year is an expiring year of that deal. So you've got a couple of expiring contracts that you can unload for somebody disgruntled out there. That's what I would do. So Rick D. Man, yes, I love the way Duncan has improved. I congratulate him. But if I can trade him for a star, I'm certainly doing it. There's no doubt in my mind. Okay? By the way, Hateful Steve chimed in with no hate. What? I know. He said the Saudis got golf and we got Messi. I'll take that deal. Even as a hateful guy, I'm happy about that one. I live 2 minutes from the Fort Lauderdale Stadium. I love how he goes along with the Hateful Steve stuff and he rolls with it. That's great. Good sport about it. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo like Steve did at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And, of course, you can send a Bitcoin donation, too, which you know I loves me. Some Bitcoin donation. Ooh, loves me some Jasmine, too, here. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Jasmine's going a little lower here, so looks to me like I'm going to have to take a dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. I got a color TV so I can see the next play basketball. Him talking about checkbook, credit cards, more money than the sucker could ever spend. All right, enough of that. Anyway, I like it. Jasmine at an all-time low in the 41 cent range. You know what we do with that? We purchase is what we call. We purchase. Add a little Jasmine. Yeah. We don't panic on the dip. We buy on the dip, bitch. That's how we roll, mofo. Love it. Man. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Love it. Inter Miami has now reached over 2 million followers on Instagram. This morning, they only had 1 million. Messi, really? They went from 1 to 2? I'm not surprised. Inter Miami will have 10, 15, 20 million followers on Instagram right away. It'll happen. All Messi fans are going to follow Inter Miami, bro. And the Inter staff, I don't know, by the way, if you guys are smart enough over there at the Inter social media and all that and media relations, do a lot of Messi videos, a lot of Messi everything. Don't mess around. They did what?
On Instagram, at least the one I saw was like a cold take where everybody was saying, no way Messi's coming to MLS. No way he's going into Miami.
I bet they didn't have my hot take on it that he was coming, huh? I bet they won't put that one up there. I bet they won't put that one up there that I'm the guy that says he's coming. I'm telling you, he's coming. That's all right. It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. Riley will not trade Bam. No, you don't. There's no need to trade Bam. That's the part that I think some people misunderstand me. And they think because I don't call him a star that I hate him or something. It's like, no, dude, I've said it before. The salaries you must unload are Lowry, Tyler, and Duncan. Those are the salaries you must unload so you can get a star out of that. And by the way, Oladipo's another one of those salaries. There are 4 salaries you want to get rid of, and you got to turn 2 of those into a star. That's what I've said. I've always said you keep Bam. You know what I said? You trade, let's say, Tyler and Duncan for a star like Dame Lillard, right? So now you've got Jimmy and Dane, and Caleb's my number 3. And then Bam runs the show. He's my super role player. He's my guy that runs the whole thing. He sets the table for everybody else to do their jobs and their roles and fill in and support the top 3 guys. That's it. I've never, ever said that to get rid of. You've never heard me say that, ever. I've never said to trade Bam or anything like that. Although a couple of years ago, I think I was asked, would I trade Bam for Durant? And I said, yeah, I would at that moment. But now at this point, you're not trading for Durant anymore. But I try to find a star. That's what I would do, like I told you. I'd be a complete pig, too. Not only if I could try to get Duncan and Lowry, Duncan and Hero for a star, then I'm trading Lowry for another star. And I still have Caleb and Butler and Bam. And then we're really rocking, bro. Because Bam, you don't have to put him in the position that he has to score a whole bunch of points. In this series, he's fortunate because the way they're playing him, they're leaving him open. They're letting him do his thing. I'm interested because they lost. I wonder if they'll panic and try to stop Bam a little bit more. The problem is that Jokic can't come up on him because then Bam will go past him. That's why he gives him 4 feet of space. Bam doesn't do that for Jokic. He doesn't give him any space because you can't give Jokic any space. You do that, you're done. I kept track of it. Inter Miami had 100,000 followers as of 11 a.m. Now they have 300,000 followers on Twitter. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, and they'll get over 1 million followers on Twitter when it's all said and done.
Michelle Kaufman about 12 minutes ago said, breaking exclusive details of deal coming momentarily.
Okay.
Keep following the Miami Herald for updates. So
yeah,
I guess we'll finally see what
it's
going to cost.
It's happening, bro. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah, Brett, we talked about it earlier. R.I.P. to the Iron Sheik. You guys were on for how long yesterday? 2 hours, right? You guys were on for a long time. So I had the iPad on with you guys, and I would check it every once in a while. Look over, I see you guys talking. I'd raise the volume, see what you guys were talking about. Of course, I don't understand 85% of what you're talking about, but still, you can use Lowry's contract for 2 role players. Yeah, whatever, or a star. You could find. There's always a team by the trade deadline that may have a disgruntled star that has 2 years left on his deal, and you might be able to trade for that disgruntled star, and he'll be much better here than he would be on a shitty team, And they just want the cap space, that kind of stuff. You'll find something like that. So, Boss B says Sean wasn't on long enough. So there you go. You got your show was too short. That's what they're telling you. So, Frankie, Sean, you're slacking. Okay? 2-hour shows, that's minor league stuff. Let's go. They're used to watching me do 3 hours a day. So let's go. Pick it up. We want a 2-hour daily wrestling show. Did you see what ESPN's what happened to ESPN? ABC and Disney apparently is now shipping them off on their own island. Uh-oh. That's not good. They can't carry themselves. They're not a cash cow. They have signed too many hosts to all those giant deals and all those rights deals and all that stuff. I can see ESPN with some serious haircuts coming up, bro. Remember, I told you Dalvin would have to take he's got long ass dreads. His dreads would have to be nice and short if he comes here, because his salary won't be $10 million. It'll be about $3 million if he wants to be a free agent here, right? Same thing. Here we go. ESPN is going to give itself one hell of a haircut over the next year or two. This is, oh my God, not good. Not good for ESPN and people that work at ESPN. So that is crazy. Norman says, can you share the new schedule for Ira? I've been missing him. He's on every Monday. The thing is, we pushed it on Wednesday. We pushed it to Wednesday because he was traveling Monday, and then yesterday he was at practice, and I changed from morning to afternoon for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because these 3 days I'm at Dolphins camp. So I want to go to Dolphins camp in the morning and then go do the show in the afternoon because obviously you guys listen to the show for insight and interviews and all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of what we bring to the table. And you want to be around something that you bring a lot of insight for. So we try to provide it for you all the time. Let's see. What else do we have here? To do ESPN a joke. Yeah, they've been a joke for a while, I would have to say. Heard Mitchell Agude, undrafted rookie. Yeah, man. I wasn't that impressed with him at the University of Miami. I know he came from UCLA. I read his stats earlier. He had a decent day today. Now, here's my problem with all of this. And here's where I'm a little different than the writers and some of the people that are there. I don't go too crazy on defensive players in mini camps where they're not in full pads. Okay? So Mitchell, in the 2 days that I've watched, he's actually looked good. I can't say that he's looked bad, but I also can't say for certain that this is going to be the guy that, oh my God, they got themselves a steal. Let's wait till we get into training camp and into the preseason, and then we get to see Mitchell in padded situations where all of the veterans are playing on the offense, and then he's got to go up against some of the big boys, and then we shall see how he plays. But for now, Mitchell Agude is, you know what he's doing? He's locking himself down to training camp. He's a guy that they're saying, we're bringing you back for sure. Not everybody that's at that mini camp today will be at training camp. There'll be a couple guys that will be released that they're unsatisfied with. They don't think is good enough or too old, too slow, whatever it is. And they'll move on from them and they'll add others. But Mitchell is not one of those guys. He'll be there at training camp. So that'll be good. We'll get to see him at that point. Okay? Big O, do you think ESPN would be more popular if it was segmented off like ESPN South, Northeast, and West, since they only talk about the Northern California and Dallas Cowboys anyways? I have no idea, my brother. The problem with our business is that locals getting killed. It started with the newspapers. So you have less and less newspapers around the country. So there's less and less coverage of local things going on. And then it's gone on to radio. I laugh when I get in the car and I turn on QAM and they say, well, if you want to hear the Panthers, there's only one station in town. I'm like, well, there's only one sports station pretty much in town. I mean, what's 940 really considered a sports station? Is 640 really considered a sports station? Come on, dude. They're just a bunch of satellite outlets with a team. That's it. So that's our problem. That's why our platform has done well. 5 Reasons does well. I don't know who else around, but there's a couple, and we are thriving because you have nothing local. And unfortunately, most of the guys stuck at QAM, they're good dudes and they do an excellent job, but they got to follow certain rules. And, so, you broadcast kind of with a skirt over there. You're not really going to be challenging teams and coaches and players and all that. And you have your your program director coming in and say, hey, you can't say that. You know, we have a relationship with a team. Hey, maybe you don't want to call Whiteside a knucklehead. So you got to work with that. And it's just one of those things. It's, you know, it is what it is. It's all fluff. And they don't have real reporters there or anything. They got no insight. I break more stories in 1 month than they do at QAM in 5 years. I give more insight on any of these teams than they do in 5-10 years. Because you got to walk on eggshells, unfortunately. It's not the way we play the game here. You know? So that's the problem. I don't know if that'll work, East, West, whatever. And it's not what people want to do now, these corporations. They want to go national. They want to go corporate. Local has been absolutely obliterated. That's what I wanted to do with the Moss Brothers, that I wanted to create a local sports station. But, you know, 4 months ain't going to give you, you know, that's not giving anything time to grow. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Whatever. People, you know, they don't have patience. But I know this, if I had the opportunity and the support and obviously the investors, I would create a real sports station in this town that would actually provide real insight, cover the teams and all that kind of stuff, and eliminate the fluff. I could do that. But you got to find the right people that would really support it. And there's just not enough people like that. Got to have a deep-pocketed owner that believes in it and has a real patience to build it over a couple years. Not 4 months and give up. Yes, sir.
So Glenn Crooks, who play-by-play for New York City FC.
Yeah.
This is going back to what you were talking about Messi.
Okay.
He's talking about this is the sort of coverage that MLS would never get in the New York Times without a Messi arrival. The New York Times breaking news, Lionel Messi, soccer's most coveted free agent, picks Miami.
Right. That's it. He's right. And we've never seen anything like this. Nothing. He dwarfs everything and anything that's gone on in this town. It's just the way it is, dude. This is a worldwide story. This is a story that in every corner of the world, even though we don't have any corners in the world, they are talking about this. Doesn't matter what continent we're talking about. Doesn't matter what country. Every country at one point or another, somewhere in that country, they're talking about Messi. Yes.
It is currently cheaper to go to Game 3 of the NBA Finals in Miami, $416, than Lionel Messi's potential Inter Miami debut against Cruz Azul, $482.
That's just the beginning.
Yeah, Messi's arrival is a game changer for MLS.
Yeah, and for the Moss Brothers.
And that was from Joe Pompliano, who does the sports and business.
I know who he is. He does a good job, by the way. Let's see. QAM barely even addresses Messi to Inter Miami. They only talk about the same repeated hypotheticals with 40 minutes of commercials. I know, man. It's just, it is what it is. They have to be talking Messi. They have to be. Because they're in the...
It's Hawk and Crowder right now.
Oh, yeah. They're talking food and stuff like that. Yeah. They might talk it in passing. Or then again, if Inter hasn't made the official decision, are they allowed to talk about it?
Well, that's and the other thing goes to this. This is going to be hilarious.
It's a joke, guy.
Because Inter Miami is on that station.
Yeah.
They've always been getting the push to whatever.
Right.
Do they get the same treatment now with Messi there?
I don't know. Well, that's a great. Well, it's all on contract.
Yeah.
So whoever has the dibs.
But they've lost the Dolphins, right? They don't have Dolphins this year.
No. Yeah. Well,
Dolphins leave. Are they out this year? Or was it?
What platform broke that story that they lost the Dolphins?
Oh, that was maybe the Big O show, right?
I think it was our platform that broke that they lost the Dolphins. I told Paul Castronovo he had the Dolphins before he even knew he had the Dolphins. Paul didn't believe me. Paul Castronovo didn't believe me. I go, hey, you guys stole the Dolphins from QM. He goes, get out of here. Let me find out. And then he calls me back. He goes, bro, they won't tell me. And that's Paul Castronovo. Okay, which like at that company locally here, I don't know how many guys are bigger than him or whatever. And so the bigwigs won't even tell Paul if it's true or not. And I'm telling you, don't worry, bro. It's true. You guys got the Dolphins. It's all good in the hood. Somebody was in that meeting months later, reached out to me. Months later, there was somebody that was a part of those meetings, and they reached out to me and they go to me because I know half the people that were in that meeting. But anyway, one of the people that were involved in all that stuff, they called me and they said, who the hell told you? And I go, you think I'm going to tell you? He goes, no, but it is amazing that you got it so quickly because we had agreed on it minutes before you got it. And I go, I know. I know. I know, dude. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Big O's program director, Impression Radio, has a massive amount of commercial breaks, too. Yes, it does. It breaks a lot. We've got to pay the bills. And we're broke. I mean, that company is broke. Broke. Venmo and Cash App can't use in Germany. Any other possibility to support your work? We meet a couple of weeks ago at Acura. Oh, very nice. Thank you so much. I mean, hitting the like button is very important. Hit the like button on every video possible. But I know Cash App and Venmo is the only way, that's it. Unless, that's it. That's the only way. I'm sorry. I don't know any other way. What? So Super Chat doesn't work there either? See if the Super Chat works on YouTube. There's like a little, what is it, the dollar sign on the bottom corner there? I think for the Super Chat, try the Super Chat. And thank you very much. Appreciate you even trying to make a donation for us. Thank you. Dalvin Cook is going to need a skin bald fade to play for the Dolphins. Oh, is that your Sal Rosenberg impersonation? I guess so. If you know a guy named Sal that sounds like that, why not? If you work at QAM, you know what I sound like. Even Putin knows Messi's coming to Miami. Yeah. You guys are a trip. What else do we have? Hey, congrats to the Marlins. I know they're building their record here lately on a whole bunch of shitty teams, but you got to win. And that's all that counts. So give them credit. They're 6 over 500 at 34-28. They beat the Royals yesterday 6-1. Luzardo was terrific again yesterday. 1 earned run in 7 innings. Kid had 8 Ks. Arraez went 2 of 4, 2 runs scored and an RBI. He's batting .401. And how about Brian De La Cruz, dude? Man, he has been a nice pickup for this team. He had 3 RBIs. Was that a triple, I think, yesterday? I want to say it was a double. Forgot what it was yesterday, but the guy is ripping it. He's batting .300, by the way. Jordan Lyles, who's 0-9 and a 6.89 ERA, will toe the slab for the Royals at 6.10. And then Edward Cabrera, who's 4-4 and a 4.5 ERA, will be on the mound for the Marlins. So there you go. Miami is at the center of the sports world. Amen. What's this with the baseball stadium? What am I looking at? Oh, yeah. In fact, Lisa told me, she's in Buffalo, obviously, in Rochester. She's saying that it's ugly out there, and that's the fires from Canada.
Well, there was a problem because on somebody put up Citi Field, and then I went to look for it, and I couldn't verify. But then Major League Baseball, Fox Sports, put up this one in Yankee Stadium, so I'm guessing because the one of
bro, the air quality is shitty for those people right now.
Yeah.
It's like
they've canceled the NWSL game.
Yeah, stay inside, man. Stay inside. On days like that, you have to stay inside. You don't want to be breathing all that crap up, man.
Got to find the Citi Field picture. It was just the way it looked. It was like I was like, there's no way that's.
I went to Citi Field for a concert. Really good concert too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, the concert wasn't crazy. It was great.
No. I just mean I'm looking at like
I'm joking.
because they, you know.
I'm joking.
Hold on a minute. Let me show you
And
this.
by the way, I saw the Eagles at Citi Field. I also saw a whole bunch of other bands. Fleetwood Mac, Journey. It was like 6 monster acts, 2 nights, whatever. It was called East, West, whatever, something. I forgot the name of the concert. But the Eagles, right, do their set. But because, what's it called? And Glenn Frey was still alive then. But Don Henley has a lot of solo stuff. And then he has a song called In a New York Minute. And they did that song in a New York Minute and doing it there. And then they had like the screen in the back all the way across was the entire city skyline. And then being there at Citi Field, that was actually a really cool moment doing that when you're doing it in a New York Minute and you're there, Citi Field, watching the Eagles. I thought that was actually really, really cool. Yes, sir.
All right. So Front Office Sports and TickPick put this out. Cheapest ticket for Inter Miami's July 21st match before signing Messi. You want to take a guess what the cheapest ticket was before signing Messi?
$25.
$29.
Okay.
Now the cheapest ticket,
$277.
$467.
Oh, man. I've made you guys money with Alethea when I told you buy it at 88 cents and at 88th of a cent, 88,000th of a cent, and it went up to 9 pennies. So you 9 timed it. I told you about Shib when it was down at 6 and it went to 91 at 15 time. There was another coin that I gave you guys that went, Injective Protocol. I gave it to you like at $1.40 something, $1.70 something, and it went all the way up to like $7 or $8 or something like that. I think maybe $9 it went up to. So you cashed in. I told you a couple months ago, if you have money, buy season tickets. Messi's coming. I mean, we only make money for you guys here on the show. And eventually those of you that are following me, and I'm not a financial advisor, just a guy that loves crypto. But if you follow me down some of these other crypto paths, I think we'll be sitting pretty in the end. But I'm just saying, I just, you got to throw it out there so you know what the track record is. Because we just don't. By the way, didn't we find the hook throughout the Heat season that they were giving too many points and take the opponent? And then when it turned around in the playoffs, I said, no, now we've got to take the points now because the Heat haven't we done that? Just making you guys money out there, man. That's all we do, right? They can't complain. You can't complain. Our tips are top notch. We are even getting the Canadian smoke down here in Asheville, and not the good kind either. Really? In Asheville? Well, you are Asheville. So wait a minute, Pat. Isn't it the law that every fire that we have in this continent, it goes to Asheville? Somehow or another, the winds take it over to Asheville because you guys are Asheville. So you want ash? We got ash. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. It is called Asheville, right? Okay. I mean, maybe the ash says we got to go there. That's our town. We own it. It's called Asheville. Yes, the smoke is really bad here today. The sky was orange this morning when the sun came up. The smoke is messing with my asthma today. Yeah, stay inside, Raging, man. I'm sorry about that. Every time Joe Rose says we're late and have to go to a break, I lose my mind. It hasn't been 10 minutes during his segment. Well, yeah, they're not allowed to be on you got long breaks, bro. I'm laughing, and I'm listening to the guys this morning, and they were talking about, I don't know, some salary came in, something about some salary, and then Hollywood goes, yeah, and well, they got to pay you all that money to Joe, right? And I'm driving, going, motherfucker, he produces all that money. He's the only guy on that station that brings in a haul of money, so you better pay him a haul of money. There's plenty of others that aren't producing a goddamn dime on that station, and you're just stealing money. I've seen that for 20 plus years. Plenty that just work or try to work or half-ass work, and they're just stealing money in radio. They don't produce a damn thing. Same for me out here in Murphy, North Carolina. Wow. So, man, that smoke is, wow, that's affecting a lot of people. That's crazy. So did I. He's hanging on there. I thought Joe was gone too. I didn't ask him today about that, but I thought he was. I think he's just kind of like taking it year by year now.
The more I listen to it, like the more I feel like he'd be bored at home. He doesn't want to. It's like he's just like, hey, I wake up in the morning, I'll come here, and I leave, and I do what I want to do. It's not like he's being held down by anything there.
No, he can do whatever he wants, bro. He's at a beautiful part in his life. So yeah, no, definitely. Joe's in total control, bro. Joe, and by the way, just so I know Hollywood doesn't really understand everything about the business, but that dude is carrying that station. Okay, all by himself. It's like remember that Atlas is the name of the dude, right? That's lifting the world. Was it Atlas? Anyway, so he's Atlas. It's like the whole station, and it's right on Joe's shoulders. Without that dude, wham. It's been an incredible sports year in Miami. I hope the luck continues with the Fins.
Atlas, one of the Titans, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can I answer for Bromar Smelling?
Yeah, go ahead. You know the answer.
What did Big O say about Lionel Messi? I just heard about it. Did we talk about it? We haven't talked about Lionel and Messi today.
Who's Messi? Messi's coming?
What?
Messi?
Miami.
I don't know. This is pretty much in order. It's not Messi.
No, this is pretty good over here.
Yeah.
No mess.
Messi. What's a Messi?
No, I guess we just talked about it for a couple minutes.
I don't like talking about the mess I create at home.
No.
Why is Bromar got to get into my mess?
No.
I don't get that. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know. Messi. I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. Nico says, just sending you money to help my grief. My son's baseball game, we were just rescheduled for 8 p.m. tonight and 8 p.m. Friday night. Holy shit. Both heat games and nights. Laughing my ass off. Well, that's not funny, bro. I'm sorry about that. But hey, good luck to your kid, bro. I hope he wins. Send help in the rain gods.
Is Nico the coach? Nico, are you the coach?
Oh, yeah. Are you the coach? Because if you're not the coach, you can have like a phone.
I mean,
bro.
Yeah, you could be watching a phone. When your kid comes up the bat, then you...
Yeah, exactly. Let's be honest.
Come on, there's some etiquette
Nico, come on. We're all parents here. We only give a shit about our kid. Oh, our kid's kicking the ball. Yeah, okay. Oh, they passed it over. Okay, let me get back to my phone. Oh, Johnny's got it. Oh, there you go. Oh, he scored. Yeah, great. So come on, we all know, bro. And if it's baseball, is it baseball? Oh my God, you have so much dead time. It's beautiful. He's sitting out there in left field. Yeah, right. Chewing on the glove or chewing on the strings of the glove. You're watching. You hear the ping, and then you look, where's the ball going, and then you look back down. Come on, if you're not the coach, okay. Nico, you're all right, bro. Take an iPad. Take your phone and an iPad because, the phone's smaller, right? So use the hotspot of the phone for your iPad and then watch it on the iPad. Sound down. Use the closed caption, okay? And that's it. Watch the game, Nico. See? That came in right. You gave us a donation. We gave you proper advice on how not to miss the game and be with your son at the same time. It's a beautiful thing.
Even better with AirPods now and everything else. They don't even know. I mean,
right. Yeah. You have the AirPods on and you're just listening to the game and all that stuff. It's awesome.
Great job. Good job. Keep it up.
That's it, man. I mean, listen, as long as you can actually what's that called when you have to do two things at the same time? You multitask. As long as you can multitask, Nico, you're good, bro. You're good.
He doesn't hit a home run. You're like, good job, Jimmy Butler.
That's it. Don't ask my wife to multitask. That'll drive her crazy. She can't do that. Substitute Heat for Knicks on the Rappers Delight line. There you go, Big O. Nico says, I am one of the coaches. Yes. Oh, you're screwed. Okay, wait a minute. Plan B. Plan B. You put on a pair of iPods. Your wife is, or one iPod, just one working. You leave the other ear open for coaching. And then your wife is working the game from the sidelines, right there, right behind you. So you're not too far away from the sound, and at least you're hearing the game. You got a better one?
Yes.
Okay.
The first controversial call, go argue. Get kicked out.
Oh, that's it.
Then you can watch from the sidelines.
That's it.
And you're not at fault because you were trying to protect whichever kid that was from a terrible call.
Yep. And listen, you know what's going to help? I saw it in a league of their own. Tell him that he looks like a penis with that hat on, and that's it. That automatically gets you kicked out, Nico. Now, make sure you put earmuffs on the kids when you do this. So, hey, I'm going to argue with the everybody earmuffs. All parents run out, earmuffs their kid, and then you lay into the umpire, and then he kicks you out, and then you tell your son, I'm so sorry. And then you just sit back there and you're watching the game and you have a smile on your face, and everybody's looking at you going, why is he smiling that he got kicked out? And little do they know you're watching the Heat game and you're in happiness.
You're welcome, Nico.
That's it. We are here for you, Nico. We are here for you, bro. Priorities. That's right. Cap for life. That's right. Nico needs priorities, and the Heat game, definitely a priority. Landfound says, Big O, Messi's coming to town, baby. No, that's not true. Those are lies. Those are lies.
The Heat are in the NBA Finals. The Panthers are in the Stanley Cup Finals. There's no mess.
No, there's no mess at all. None at all. Big O life coach. That's it. You can't get this insight anywhere else, Nico. That is very true. Inter Miami would lose to St. Thomas High School. Well, hey, last time I heard, St. Thomas signed Messi, not Miami. You expect Miami to beat St. Thomas when they have Messi? That's not going to happen. I hope the Heat win by 20 tonight. That would be pretty awesome. Why is Daddy protesting Mrs. Smith's kids' strike? Right? Yeah, that's it, Pat. That's it. We got to help Nico out, bro. We got to help him out, man. All right. By the way, they are selling the rats here at Caneswear. They got a rat for $5. If you go online on the store, 3 for $10. So if you want to get some rats, go to caneswear.com, go online. Oh, in store 3 for $10? Oh, okay. So you can buy 1 for $5 or 3 for $10. I'm sure online or live, whatever.
I think they're doing the 3 for $10s if you're heading to the stadium. It's why you come into the store. It's 3 for $10.
Okay,
online, you get them each for $5.
Okay. So then that was right. So online, 1 for $5, and in the store, 3 for $10.
I misunderstood what you were saying. I thought you were saying 3 for $10 online too. I'm sorry. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear. That. I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure it was clear that it was 3 for $10 if you come in the store. I don't want to. Right. Online, you don't get the.
Right.
I just want to
make online, you don't get 3 for $10 rats. No. So only live. And by the way, I don't know if the rats are live also. I'm not exactly sure. They could be live. I don't know. 3 for $10. Throw them on the ice, feed them to your snake, whatever it is. Yeah, exactly. No, seriously. 3 for $10 here in store. So if you want to buy some rats so you can, sneak them in and take them to the stadium and all that good stuff, you're good. There you go. How do people sneak those rats in? Do they put them like in their crotch? Because then
I'm sure they're in the bags.
Right? Then the rats really smell.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to put that smell in the crotch area.
Just throwing it out there. I'm just saying. I mean, things happen. Listen, Big O, the Panthers are going to win the next 4 games. We're taking the cup, and we can all be happy. By the way, Channel 7, I busted you. Yeah. Let's expose those phonies at Channel 7. Have you been watching the Channel 7 newscast? Because I don't watch Channel 6 anymore.
I don't watch
Since they got rid of sports. You don't watch Channel 7?
No.
Too sensationalistic for you or something?
Yeah, I don't watch them since the hurricane. That one hurricane when the fan and the guy across the street was just walking, looking at him, and what's going on? A little bit sensationalism, I mean,
just a tad. But I think they all do it. But anyway, so I'm watching Channel 7, and every night, as the Panthers and the Heat have made the finals, they have a Heat and a Panther segment. Then they have the newscast. Then they have the sports, report. But during that hour, they will have a Panther and a Heat report every night. Guess what happened last night? Last night, they only had a Heat report. Because the Panthers are down 0-2, they said, not as important. I got to tell you something. You're pissing off Mike DePasquale there, okay? That's all I got to say. And you don't want to piss off Mike DePasquale because he squats like 4,000 pounds. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this, but Mike DePasquale is a human car jack. Yeah, so if you get a flat tire and you don't have a jack for it, call Mike DePasquale. He'll lift your car. Seriously. Like, that guy lifts like 4,000 pounds at a time. It's amazing. Don't mess with Mike DePasquale. He'll crush you.
Seen all the stiff arms our reporters are having to give all these people, all these fans?
Yeah. I'm dying to see them do it to DePasquale. Because he's going to bury somebody's chest in when he does it. Okay? Just so you'll know, don't mess with Mike DePasquale. And so I saw you, Channel 7. I got you last night. You didn't do a Panther segment. You only did a Heat segment. You went very fair-weathered. You gave up on the Panthers because they're down 0-2. So, not good. Not good. Let's get back on track there, Channel 7. If you're going to do one for the Heat, do one for the Panthers. Be fair. Oh, can the Dolphins kick tires on Chase Young? Why? He's a sack of injuries, bro. The guy has underachieved his entire career so far. I would not. Did they release him? Chase Young, I don't even know. Did they release him? I thought he was still on Washington for one more year. Did they run out? Did that happen today or something? I apologize. I came straight from practice here, so I don't have nearly as much prep as I normally do for shows. So I got to apologize on that one. No? No, he's still there? Yeah, okay. So then I don't know why you would kick. He's not a free agent. But anyway, he's been a terrible pick, unfortunately. The guy can't stay healthy. It's a shame. The other guy that was the number one pick that was rumored here, and he went to Seattle and was drafted by the Texans, and he had that hit on the Michigan running back, and that thing was replayed over and over again. What's his name? Clowney. He's still a free agent. I am so worried about Game 3 tomorrow. I have a feeling that if we don't win tomorrow, well, no, if you don't win tomorrow, it's over. It doesn't matter if you get swept or not, dude. It's over. It's over. They're not winning 4 in a row. They have no choice. They don't have to win tomorrow. They have to win the next 2 games, dude. They must even this series up in the next 2 games. They had to they had to split over on the road. That would have been perfect for them. But if you didn't do that, now you're in a must-win situation 2 games in a row. They cannot lose the next 2 games. They are really backed into a serious corner. So, yeah, they lose tomorrow, it's over. It doesn't matter if it's 4 or 5 games. It's over. They're not coming back. They're not going to win because Vegas looks so much better. Yeah. Yeah, it's what Chad says. You have to protect home ice. We thank Franco Panizo. We thank Omar Kelly. We thank Ira Winderman. We thank Sean Stanley, as always, getting it done. Brett, Jeff, all the amazing people out here, folks. Come on out here, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. If you order over $99, you will get free shipping. So it doesn't matter where you live. Order over $99, you get free shipping, folks. So check it out at caneswear.com. Come up here to Davie. They've got almost anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. They've got Heat gear. They've got Inter Miami gear. Want to get a Messi jersey? Come on out here, baby. caneswear.com. All right. We thank Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend that masters the entire platform. Tomorrow, again, one more normally it's afternoon because we're at Hialeah Park at 3 o'clock. I will be at Dolphins camp once again. You can follow us on Twitter at Big O Show, on Instagram at Big O Radio Show, so you can keep up with any breaking news, anything that I run into. I will post it there. And remember, if your business wants to be a part of our platform, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. If you want to join our platform and want to be a proud sponsor of our platform and help us grow, maybe you want to support one of our Dolphins or Heat segments, those kind of things, reach out to us. 786-754-4664. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
Your home for everything Heat.
They stand eye to eye with history, and they did not blink. The Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
Panthers.
The Florida Panthers are headed to the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Big O Radio Show goes deep on playoff coverage.
We don't care what the rest of the world is saying. We don't care who's criticizing who. You got to line up between these four lines, and let's figure this out.
The Big O Radio Show.